Hello, everybody. How's it going? And welcome back to the Kill Connor Club podcast. I'm James or Lasers, joined again by Tyler, obviously.
Yeah, you are. I
Yeah,
almost wasn't joined by you, but
yeah.
you are certainly joined by me. Um,
So for everyone watching this not live, it doesn't know what we're talking about. So essentially, what happened was, I just woke up. It's like an hour after we were meant to start live streaming the podcast, and I just woke up and I was freaking the fuck out. I was like, shit, and my alarm didn't go off. Well, I mean, it went off, but it didn't. My phone didn't make any sound for some reason. Like the alarm was there, and I like cancelled it. And I was like, well, that didn't make any sound, so it didn't wake me up. So I'm super late for the podcast. So I apologize to everyone here who sat around waiting for an hour. I'm so sorry.
we all talked mad shit about you for the last hour,
Yeah,
pretty
I can
much.
imagine. Yeah.
I was freaking out because usually, being late happens 5, 10 minutes, even 20. But I usually am talking to you, and I know you're just like, oh, I just woke up, I'll be a minute. Like, I always know what's going on, and it was just nothing. I messaged your brother, your girlfriend, you. I called you multiple times, and I was like, nothing. I had no fucking idea what was going on. I was like, James could be dead for all I know. I wouldn't know. None of us would know. And we're all sitting here in the chat talking mad shit.
Everyone was just asleep because obviously, if not, let me tell the story actually, because some people might not know. So we went to the beach on Friday, and then my car engine. So it's like a 3-hour drive.
Before you start,
Okay.
we need a better introduction to this because do you realize what you're doing?
Oh, so James's journeys.
It's a James's
We are
Journeys!
starting off this podcast with the James's journeys, so hopefully that makes up for my late arrival. Doesn't really, but
It doesn't make up for your late arrival. Hey man, for sure show up on time, huh? It's midday for you. Why aren't you awake yet?
I'm telling the
thought
story.
I thought you fixed your sleep cycle. Okay.
Yeah,
You're
but-
right.
Okay,
Continue.
so, right.
Oh,
So,
do you want me to do an introduction for it?
yeah, go for it.
Da 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 da. Da 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 da. James's Journeys.
Perfect. So, okay. So, it was a 3-hour drive. We went to the beach, and then when we got there, my car started leaking, and then whenever I tried to drive it, the engine was like overheating. So, we had to call AA to get someone to come out, and then they couldn't till tomorrow. So we were like just stuck by the beach. We stayed in a caravan, which was tiny, overnight, and so we were all fucking exhausted because we got up super early to go to the beach.
I got a couple questions already,
Okay.
just so you can add to the story, because I got questions here. So, what time of the day did you call for someone to come fix your car?
Okay, so we got to the beach at like it was in the morning, so I think it was like 10 a.m. or something like that.
And they
But-
told you no one could come out all day?
No, because I didn't know. So I parked my car, and then we left it for ages, and then we came back, and we drove it somewhere, and it was fine. And then all of a sudden, it was probably like, I don't know, it was like, it was like in the evening when I realized what had happened, because the car was fine, and then all of a sudden it happened, and then then when we called, it was like super late, and then I don't know what happened, but we just organized it for tomorrow because I had to get
You don't have a 24-hour service?
no, so
You
I
don't
didn't have cover, right,
Okay.
on my car, so I had to get my mum to get cover on my car through her thing, and she sorted it out. So I don't know what happened. She just sorted it out for the next day. So
And then you had to pay for a caravan
yeah, and
just at a
then
random place.
yeah, so it was just that happened, and then they managed to fix it, and they managed to fix it for like, what was it, like £1.13 or something like that, because it was like this super cheap thing that happened. It was like this like rubber seal around something, and it was letting everything like leak through, that like made my car overheat because it couldn't cool it down or whatever. So they fixed it for super cheap. But then yeah, so then finally when we got home, which ended up being like, when was it, like I don't know, it must have been like
You don't
like
so
11 or
do
something.
Do you
Yeah.
the UK
Uh-huh.
have, as long as you are a United Kingdom, do you have a 24-hour service to fix a car?
No, God knows. Probably, I'd say so. But my mum organised it and she just did it for the next day. So I was like, okay.
Okay.
So she
I just
kind of
thought it
did
would,
that bit,
wouldn't
so
it
I
be
didn't know.
cheaper to get someone to come out rather than pay to stay somewhere overnight?
Probably would have been. But,
Okay. Okay.
yeah. Yeah. I don't really know what happened there. But, yeah. And then we got home. We got home super late. And then I'm going to use that as my excuse for being late to the podcast.
What time did you get home?
I don't know. It's like 11. Yeah.
Okay. So, okay. Yep. So, guys, that's okay. Okay. Well, I guess we're all gonna have to live with it. We're all here now, so it doesn't really fucking matter at this point, does it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So your car's fixed, and you made it back, and you're alive. So that's what counts. That's
Yeah.
really, when it comes down to it, that's what matters. What's been going on the last 2 weeks since last podcast? Because you've been away. I've also been away, but you went over to Ireland and Elva's with you now.
Yep.
Tell us what's been happening.
Okay, so since last podcast, well, I've actually been uploading a fuck ton, so that's a thing. I was spending a lot of time working on videos for the most part. Then because when I was away, I wanted videos when I was away, so I had to try and do that. Then I never even managed to do it. Then I went away. Me and Elva just. I don't even remember half the stuff we did. We just did a lot of stuff, and then we're back here, and that story happened, and other than that, nothing super interesting, but there we go, up to date with James.
There we go. Everyone is so fucking savage on this chat at the moment. Everyone's still so salty at you, man. There's nothing you could do to win them back at this point.
Oh, God.
Everyone is so salty.
I'm just losing subs as the time ticks by.
Ethan, if you want to get subs, what you got to do is you got to start a stream that is James's sub counts going down, plummeting. Keem needs to jump onto this, Keemstar, and then you'll be on Drama Alert. And
I feel like I gained subs from that.
from this, you gain subs from this.
No, if I was on Drama Alert.
That's true. That's actually a good point. Okay, Keem, don't do it.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, Pokemon Go. That's something that Audle brought up. Fucking addicted to that shit. What are your thoughts?
People thought, people are going, are you dead because you got hit by a train playing Pokemon Go?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no. Well, yeah, I haven't played Pokemon Go.
Really?
No, because
Jesus, why not?
I don't want to.
Why?
I love Pokemon a lot, and it looks kind of shit, and but it
so
also
good.
seems addictive, and I also don't have the time in my life to be addicted to anything,
I get
so
it,
I'm
yeah.
avoiding it really hard. Like, I'm
Yeah.
staying the hell away from it because I'm an obsessive person, and I don't have the time to be obsessed with Pokemon Go.
Mm.
So I'm just showing restraint and staying away from it because I feel like if I play it, yeah, that's my life.
No, yeah, it is. It's very addictive. Me, Elva, and George have been going out like every night trying to catch Pokemon, and like we wandered around a field for about an hour trying to catch a Charmander, and we got it, but it was worth it. And it was
Was it
late
worth it?
at night. Yeah, no, it was worth it.
Why don't you
Completely
catch
worth it.
Pokemon through the day instead of sleeping all day?
Oh, no,
How
no, no,
about
so-
you catch
okay, so-
Pokemon through the day, and then you can wake up on time because you go to sleep on time.
Okay, so what happened was okay. So basically, we had a routine going. So I woke up at like 10 a.m., made videos, and then we waited for George to get in from school, and then we went out and got Pokemon. And then we ended up just like so it'd be like from like 4 p.m. till like 10 p.m. We'd just be catching Pokemon all day.
Okay, I see. Yeah, I mean, look, it's cool that people are out there doing shit with their life and actually being outside. So I mean, there's some benefits to Pokemon Go. But it does seem like a really addictive game. Like I'm seeing people running around the streets and just like outside of people's houses, and it's super weird. Just people on their phone. I'm like, this is the future. This is the first step to us living in virtual realities for our whole life and day to day. This is the first step.
I'm down for it.
I'm kind of worried. I'm a little worried.
If it's gonna be like Pokemon Go, I'm all good. I'll go with it.
It's a Charmander, Tyler. Of course, it's worth it. I think it looks at the moment, because it's not much to it. It just looks kind of shitty. I'd rather play just the actual Pokemon games on the DS.
I think the fun part of it is more like if you're playing on your own, I feel like you get a bit bored. But I think the fun is like going around with your friends, like trying to catch Pokemon, just having banter at the same time, kind of like trying to take over gyms, you know, like working together, just having fun. I think that's just kind of the fun part. But if you play it on your own, it's kind of like you could probably do it for a little bit, but like I think it's sharing the experience is the fun part.
True, like 100% socially beneficial. Socially beneficial. It could be the solution to obesity in the world. Like that's a reality. But I've avoided Pokemon Go because I don't need it in my life, and I know I don't need it in my life, and I'm scared of it.
You're scared of it.
I am actually have a fear of Pokemon Go. So that's the reality. That's the real reality there.
Okay.
I've got. I was just thinking because I wrote all this list up the other day because I'm thinking because I just flew in from Brisbane today.
Yes, you did.
Yes, so and I'm back at university tomorrow and work this week. So I just had 2 weeks holidays. And so I'm straight back to it and everything. And I was in Brisbane for like a week and a half, and I had all my videos just scheduled while I was away. I put up more videos than you. I was like, how embarrassing for James. Tyler's uploading more than you. That's sad. That's insane. But it was fun. Like, I put out my box video and stuff, and Free Run for Justice is going 2 episodes out. Episode 3 is tomorrow. That's been cool. And they're only getting better and better from here. And then my AC2 walkthrough and stuff and whatnot. All the just the usuals. Oh, and I finished my top 5 moment series in all the Assassin's Creed games.
You did.
So that's another thing. I'm glad I actually I started it and I finished it. I didn't, get up to do the Ezio trilogy and then just be like, oh, I can't be fucked. Like, I finished them all.
That. What was that other top 5 series that you started and did 1 episode off and then never finished?
I was just gonna do top 5 different Assassin's Creed top 5s each month.
That was it. Yeah.
I did 2 of them, but then again, we just brought it to this podcast, so it's not a huge deal. And even this top 5 moments, I did 1 a week, so I did every week. So I'm pretty happy with how it turned out after all that.
Yeah, it was good.
But I got a vlog coming out.
Oh.
In the next couple of days because I went over. So I live in like southeast Queensland, South Brisbane, and there's like all these islands so it's Moreton Bay on where Brisbane is.
Mm-hmm.
That's the Bay Area, and then there's lots of islands. There's Moreton Island and then Stradbroke Island, and they're massive sand islands. So I was over at Stradbroke Island and went hiking through there and stuff with my best mate Joel and his girlfriend. So I got a vlog coming out where we see whales, turtles, kangaroos, all the Aussie shit you want. So I've just got and it's like 20-minute walk, and we're like, oh, whales, oh, turtles, oh, kangaroos, and every other poisonous thing. So it's a fun, cool little vlog I'm going to put together. I was actually editing that while I was waiting for you because I was like, oh, I better be productive.
While I'm not.
Well, you're getting some shut eye, so it's productive in a way, I guess. I'm trying to make excuses for you, but everyone's just getting this chat. You're just gonna have to live with the hate on this chat for today, mate. So that's
so sad. I woke up and I was like, no. Oh, it was so depressing. I looked at the time and I was like, fuck. It
was just so confusing for all of us because people were showing up on the chat, one by one, expecting to have been late, and people were like, wait, why hasn't this started? And people kept having to explain, Tyler, why hasn't this started? And I'm like, I know as much as you do. I'm asking the same question. Why hasn't this started? So I was going to talk about, because while I was away, I sent you a photo. I found two little games at my parents' house.
Oh
Kingdom
yeah.
Hearts 1 and 2. And I pulled out the old PlayStation 2 and was playing Kingdom Hearts 1. And the
Yes.
only person that has a save on the memory card is Harlan. Um, all our saves are gone. So it's just because I don't know what happened to our old memory card, so this is the only memory card we got.
Mhm.
And he was like a end of the world. That's the last word he was at. And
Yeah.
I ended up playing for about two. I did some grinding and played for about 2 hours and legitimately rage quit and was like, "Fuck this game, fucking piece of shit." And
Classic
then
Kingdom
I
Hearts.
and then I said I got up and I realized I was like, "Fucking classic Kingdom Hearts." It was literally like 2 hours. I was having so much. I'm like, "Oh my god, I've missed this so much. This is the best playing Kingdom Hearts again. This is so amazing." And then I just said, "Fuck this game," and rage. And Harlan goes, "You're gonna keep playing?" I said, "No, I can't. I'm too angry." You, you know where when you fight Chernobog,
What?
the um the big demon in the volcano.
What the fuck? What?
So you know at End of the World where you jump through
Yeah.
all the little worlds
Yeah.
and like you have
Oh,
to
dude.
fight,
Yeah. No, I know what you're talking about. I just didn't know its
yeah,
name. Yeah, I know what you're talking
yeah.
about now. Yeah.
So you fight Chernobog. It's like this big demon, and then
Yeah. Yeah.
there's no save point after that, and then you go down the volcano.
Is there not?
No, there's no save point after that. I think
Okay.
maybe they added one into the final mix, but this is the
They
PS2
might
original
have
copy,
done.
right?
Yeah.
Because this was the hardest part of the game for me when I used to play it and
Mhm.
now, because there was no save point after that. There's no save point until you have to battle Ansem. Right before
Yeah.
Ansem, there's no
Oh,
save
see,
point.
me and George did we played the normal version, not the final mix version. I don't remember if we got a save point or not, but I don't remember finding that a bit difficult. We kind of killed the dude, and then you get super glide or whatever, and then we just kind of went through it, and everything. I never even realized there wasn't a save point. I think we're
Yeah,
just bad.
like there's no save point in this, and
Mhm.
yeah, you get super glide, and Chernobog's hard enough. Like he's a pretty relatively tough boss. He has some pretty annoying moves, but I think it was like second try I killed him. I was like, cool. Went down. You fight one of the behemoths, like those big purple bison looking motherfucker. That you sit in his back and you have to hit his horn, and you fight him
Yeah.
like 17 times in the game, and
Oh,
you
I
think it's
love
like
that one.
yeah, and then you have to fight just a bunch of waves of Heartless for about half an hour,
Mm.
and then I died right before.
Yes, I
And
know what
yeah,
bit you're talking about. That bit is fucking. I told George about it because I remember watching him play for the first time. And I was like, "Look, you have to fight Harley for a solid like half an hour," and he thought I was exaggerating, but it is so long. It lasts for fucking ages.
and I died right at the end, and it would give you a checkpoint and you fight the behemoth again, and then do the Heartless again. But if you don't sit down and finish it and turn off the PlayStation, you then have to fight Chernobog again.
Oh god, yeah.
So I was like, "Fuck this! I'm not doing this again." And then he's like, "But then you'll fight Chernobog." I'm like, "No, I'm not playing it ever again. Fuck this game." And I walked away. And then I realized, and I was like, "Classic Kingdom Hearts." I had a classic Kingdom Hearts moment.
Classic Kingdom Hearts.
It was bullshit.
That's fantastic.
But in saying that, I am so close to getting a PS4 because I need 2.8 and everything.
Oh yeah.
And then
Oh god, yeah.
the hope that 1.5 and 2.5 somehow get put
Yeah.
onto
Get
PS4,
bored. That'd be great.
which I still have like this little hope for because it just doesn't make sense how they've done all these remakes to port them over, and they've been so
Yeah.
slow about it before Kingdom Hearts 3 that there's a new console.
Mm.
So it's
Yeah.
just that's the dream. But hoping for PS4 soon. I'm just waiting for my fucking tax return, and then I'll use
Mm.
some of that cash, get a PS4, play all the Uncharted's, and then wait for Kingdom Hearts. So that's my plans.
Yeah.
Classic Kingdom Hearts brings the rage on. So,
Okay. Anyways, yeah.
did you
What
just,
were you saying?
did you just whisper Classic Kingdom Hearts really quietly under your
Yeah.
breath?
Yeah, I did.
So let's check the list. So there's a shitload of Assassin's Creed stuff to talk about.
Is there?
Yeah, there is. Well, because this is the way I think of it now is because you're doing, and me as well, but less so much speculation videos and
Oh
content.
yeah.
And every time you do one, I want to talk about it with you on the podcast, and vice versa.
Mm.
So if I do the truth, I want to talk about it with you and stuff. So I think it's a great excuse for when we need Assassin's Creed talk, and people are like, we want Assassin's Creed talk. Well, we can talk about all the videos we've done in regards to it and bring it to the podcast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I got multiple things to talk about here.
Cool.
So what came out, I think, first since the last podcast was the box video. Was my box video
Yeah.
for Assassin's Creed Empire. So if anyone hasn't watched that, for sure go check it out. It's already disappointed me because it's not at 50,000 views like its predecessors. I've got hope that it'll get there one day. But I mean, got a good response, and that was a big thing of mine doing that box video, and it was episode 10 of The Truth. Theory-wise, what do you think of the video? Do you have another theory other than that? Or are you kind of like, I feel like this should or will happen?
Yeah. Well, I watched it 2 weeks ago, so I'm trying to remember.
So this is good because people who haven't seen it will be like, what the fuck are they talking about? So essentially, the box, I did for my box video. The theory was, I think the box wasn't created by the first civilization as much as other people said. It is. It's actually created by humans, and what better civilization that's so far ahead of its time? Like the Egyptians could have used and made a box, maybe with using pieces of Eden, or Consus in the shroud telling them stuff, or perhaps a sage telling them about shit. Somehow the Egyptians got a hold of this technology, and that's why it's a wooden fucking box. It's like, why in the world would the first civilization make an artifact out of wood, and it's just a box to do stuff?
Yes.
And, so it's like, it makes sense that a human civilization made the box using first civ technology, because it's supposed to translate first civilization writings and stuff like that. And that could have helped advance the Egyptians' architecture and things like that. And that's why the pyramids were built and stuff. That's why we can't explain those. So it explains the Egyptian empire and explains all of that because of the box. And then somehow after the empire fell, the boxes were scattered, or one box was scattered. The technology is kind of lost in time, essentially. And then in Empire, I'm not saying it's going to be a big story point, but it'll be like mentioned. You'll just kind of get it. Here's what the box does, or how it was created, or at least how it affects Egypt. And I think it could get confirmation that it's man-made.
Yeah.
And someone did say,
I remember now.
Ethan brought up, Benjamin Franklin said one of the boxes was Egyptian. He's like, isn't this from Egypt or something? And I'm like, oh shit, they knew about Empire this long. Darby McDevitt just making it rain.
The creed said, wouldn't Egypt make the box out of gold? Well, I mean,
maybe, but I googled Egyptian boxes, and and I was surprised at how there were gold, but they kind of similar shapes, and there were a variety of different things.
Yeah, I mean, it depends who made it. So just Jesus Christ. That was a loud police car, but yeah. I mean, it depends who made it. Like, it depends how they made it, like where they made it. Like, yeah.
Well, it could have been before the Egyptians were rich and wealthy, right? Like that's how they became.
I mean,
rich.
did everyone in Egypt have access to gold to make everything with? Like,
well, yeah, that's it. Who knows? And it's like, I don't know. I just think the box brought about a lot of this, technology and stuff. It was the origin for, perhaps, this is all speculation, for their empire. So yeah, it was made of wood. And after that, it helped them with, bring the empire a lot of riches and all this sort of stuff. But who knows? It's just, it's all a theory, it's not doctrine, it's not canon. We don't even know if the game's, a thing, so.
Yeah. I think it's the theory that makes the most sense, with the box, because people have talked about this before, like, I mean, who is it that always disagrees, though? Hold up, let me think. Is it Colin? I don't know, but there's always someone I know that always disagrees with it about the whole, like, oh well, because it's it's wooden, it's not precursor, and people are like, but it is precursor, and I don't think it's precursor.
I don't
You
think it's
know,
precursor either. It's not. Well, Ortal approved of it, so I'm like, well, that's one tough critic.
yeah.
So I don't
So
know.
yeah.
I think it makes the most sense. And I'm not saying it was either planned that way. I'm just saying it's something easily to work in. You know what I mean? Like they haven't really explained the origins.
Mm,
They've left it wide open. Now they're going back so far. Why not just explain that's what it was?
yeah.
So if they haven't already done so, Darby, if you see my video, just take the idea. Just take it. I don't mind. I just think it's a great point. Just
Mm.
take it.
Yeah, I also think a good point is that Darby's the one that wrote in the box in the first place, and we're assuming that he's going to be writing the next game. So it would make even more sense to reintroduce the box again and have Darby like explain what's going on with it, because he wrote in the original Ezio's box, the first original box, and then obviously Richard Freeze, is that his name? Wrote in the Rogue box, which is a different box, and I don't really know what's going on. Because they do look different, and they look different in the same game, and that's another thing that we talked about before on Kill Connor Club. The way I still think that they're two different boxes that do different things, and they're just trying to throw us off with it.
Maybe, but also it doesn't mean they all couldn't be from Egypt. You know what I mean? Like they could explain it off.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like. That's the thing I said about the box. Like people talk about different boxes that look different, and like maybe there is multiple boxes. Maybe they are the same thing. Maybe they do different things. Maybe they came from the same place, or maybe they haven't decided whether they're different boxes, and they're just like, oh, we might do different boxes. Let's make it look different, but we can just say, oh, we did. Oh, it's just we fucked it up. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I need to see until I see it. I won't believe either way. I'm not saying one's right, one's wrong. I'm just like, I believe you're right. That is a possibility. As
Yeah.
well as there's a possibility that they just say there's one box, like, because they haven't confirmed properly. Like, not like a real confirmation, like with the pieces of Eden, we know they're different apples of Eden, we know there's multiple of this because one, it's been said in background lore by the writers, and even in game, we know different characters had it in different places, different times.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of, we haven't had the exact same explanation. The box is so mysterious. Like they don't even talk about it properly, like as writers to us. When people ask about it, they just say, nothing.
They just say they don't know. Like, I was watching the interview that Luma did with Richard Parise, and he's just like, yeah, no, there could be multiple boxes, but I don't know. And it's like,
And
wait,
even
you don't
Gabe,
know? What?
And we asked Gabe, and he goes, oh, really? I thought there was one box. When we asked if there was more than one. And we're like, what the fuck?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So sometimes I think, I'm like, do we know more than most of these developers? Like, what, or are we overthinking this? I don't know.
Yeah.
I do not know.
I don't know.
So the box video is there. And then the next video that was put out, which is by you, which was customization in Empire.
Yes.
Which was really an interesting video because I kind of, it's almost like until I was playing AC2 recently, I kind of forgot how good customization used to be and how simple it was. And how just kind of lost it's become.
Yeah.
You said Unity was good, and I agree with you because I thought Unity's was good. But can I ask you the question, would you prefer like the Ezio trilogy where you had armor sets, or would you
Yes.
rather like Unity where you have outfit sets?
No, Ezio Trilogy. It's
Okay.
better because I prefer having that signature outfit. Like, you knew what Ezio's was, but you could add to Ezio's
Agreed,
outfit.
100%.
But with Arno, it's like Arno doesn't have an outfit. You're literally just changing shit out. And Jacob and Evie's for me was actually even worse. Like, Jacob just wore a fucking coat. Like,
Yeah.
it wasn't even robes. Like, that
I liked
was...
Evie's, but yeah.
Yeah, I liked Evie's a lot. But Evie had a lot of different ones as well. They didn't have anything that was set. And I think, like, I was talking about Legacy outfits because I made a video on that recently as well. Is that... how on earth would they include Jacob and Evie's legacy outfits into, well, not Evie because
Hats, just hats.
just a top hat, just an added top hat, just to take the piss a little bit more. But yeah, I mean, they don't have exact outfits. Like, at least with Arno, you've kind of got Arno's original outfit that they showed off in the demos and stuff like that. That, it's his robes. But yeah, even though I thought the customization was good in Unity, there was things about it that weren't good, like the fact that some of them cost like 400,000 in-game money, and it's like, that's a bit ridiculous, because people talk about, they're like, oh, it's so easy to get that amount of money, you just keep playing this mission over and over again. I'm like, yeah, but that shouldn't be how you get money. Like, you shouldn't get money in game by grinding the same mission over and over and over again. It should be like systemic, and it should feel realistic and stuff like that, and you should get an even amount of money to buy stuff. Even though there should be stuff that's hard to get, you should progressively be able to get it as you do more different stuff in the game, rather than doing the same thing over and over again. And that's something that I didn't like about Unity, the way that it was kind of pushing microtransactions on you, like, hey, if you buy this microtransaction, you'll be able to get all the cool stuff. And it was also locked away by behind level barriers and stuff as well. Like, you couldn't get certain stuff because you weren't a high enough level. Like, whereas with the Ezio trilogy, you unlock better armor as Ezio progressed through his story. So as you got through, you know, Ezio would be able to purchase more things. And also you had like the discounts as well, like when you upgraded stuff in Monteriggioni, you'd have the discounts for the blacksmith. And as well, I liked the fact that you could customize and buy things from actual shops rather than just pausing the game and doing it in there, because it just feels like you're playing a game. Whereas with the Ezio trilogy, you could get involved in stuff and it feel like you were in this world. You had to go to a blacksmith to upgrade stuff, you had to go to a tailor to upgrade other stuff, rather than just pausing the game and having everything in that pause menu.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. You said something I loved, which was the fact that with iconic outfits, you know, by upgrading, you felt like you were progressing, you felt like you were upgrading, but you weren't changing outfit. Like, the outfit you're wearing was awesome and iconic, but you made it look cooler with, like, well, you had leather armor first, and then you get this metal armor later, and then you unlock this Uber Altair armor. Like, it was such a nice progression. It was well timed. You felt like it was continuous, and you never felt like you were stuck with an armor set. Like, you're like, by the time you get one armor set, you're pretty close. You're starting to get money, and you start getting the next set, kind of thing.
Yeah.
It was a constant progression. It made you feel like you were stronger every sequence. So you weren't just stronger as a character. You weren't just better as you got better at playing the game longer. But you got more abilities, you got more weapons, and all of a sudden this armor's looking cooler, and you're stronger. Like, it was just... It's so simple. It's fucking basics, and they nailed it, and now they've gotten really complicated. Now, I give Unity credit, because I've been thinking, I wanted them to try that with Assassin's Creed. I wanted them to try to have just different outfits, where you customize every little thing on the assassin. I don't like it. I prefer the old way, but I'm glad they tried it. Kudos to you guys, Ubisoft. You know, thank you for trying. It didn't work, you know. Yeah. Let's simplify it a bit, because I think the most important thing is have an iconic outfit that you can upgrade, because, you know, there was an Arno robes, and then there was like the Arno tailored robes, and then there's Arno master robes, and that's what, when I play Unity, I usually get that. So, I mean, there was a progression if you just get and stick to one robe set, but I would like an armor set as well. And if there's a similar thing to that, where there's just, you can kind of upgrade the robes as well, and it adds to the robes, but then you can also add armor as well. That's also cool. That's an extra thing, but it's still simplified compared to Unity's, which was really a bit too complicated. Now, you definitely don't need stats to be added to your outfits.
Yeah, it's like with Syndicate, they simplified it, but they did it in the wrong way, because they removed all the little intricate customization, but instead it's just outfit sets. So you have one outfit, you have another outfit, you have another outfit, and then you customize braces and belts with Jacob, and then what was it, capes and something else with Evie, but I don't remember what it was. And that was weird customization. I think I still prefer Unity to Syndicate's customization, because Syndicate's was just weird. I didn't like that at all.
It was like Red Dead's. It was just outfits that were less cool
strange.
than the original one. I mean, there was one Eevee one I really loved. I loved the one you get after when you pick up the necklace and you've got Lucy Thorne and she takes it from you, and you go out the window, you unlock this gown, and it's white, and it's got like a purple I know what you're talking about. That's the one I always go with. White and purple. You give me Assassin White and purple? Yeah. I like purple, so, you know.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I went there.
Yeah, that's another thing. I just realized when you said that, the fact that you literally unlock an outfit for just completing a mission annoys me. Like, the way that when you do a mission, it's like, oh, now suddenly you have this. It's like, I preferred when you used to have to go buy the stuff. I mean, some stuff is cool to unlock, but if you do a challenge for it, and it makes sense, like with the seals for Altair's armor, you got that armor because the armor was sitting there. You had to get the seals to unlock it. I mean, they had that in Syndicate with the Minerva armor for Eevee, even though that armor was horrible. But they kind of did that. But I find it weird when in a game like you literally do nothing. Like you do like one mission that's completely unrelated, and all of a sudden you get an outfit for it, and it comes out of nowhere, and it's weird, and I don't like it.
Yeah, I know. It's definitely better that you earned it, rather than just randomly get it this sequence. Yeah, for 100%. And even like you said, the Minerva one you get is fucking shit. It's
It
so
is.
shit.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Like, I'm not. This isn't Star Wars. Why do I have invisible? This isn't Harry Potter. Like,
Yeah, it was
I don't want the
weird.
invisibility cloak on. That doesn't really work. So, I don't know. I don't even know.
That was weird, and she kept like glitching out every few seconds because the outfit had this weird glitchy effect on it. It was weird.
Yeah.
Plus, why did it fit her anyway? Because it's Minerva's like armor, and Minerva was like the first Civ were like really tall. I don't get it.
Because it's a video game, I guess.
That's stupid. Can't deal with it.
Yeah, I know. But you mentioned also legacy. Well, actually, I want to mention something as well. That all is the whole earning thing. It's because the next episode of Assassin's Creed: The Truth, which comes out I think on Wednesday, it's going to be like a discussion video about bringing back assassin tombs.
Ooh, yeah.
Because they're like one of the best types of missions to me in all the Assassin's Creed games, is to have those, because there's diversity in them. There's the chase ones, there's just the general parkour ones, some cool stealth ones, infiltration, but they're all just interior missions that have different themes to them. From 2, Brotherhood, Revelations, all had them in there, and each one's super different and iconic to me in the games, and I think they're amazing. And with Egypt, holy fuck, the things you could do with that, get the fuck out of here, you know what I mean?
That would be fantastic.
How crazy would it be going into one of the pyramids and finding like a mummy in there, you know what I mean?
Oh, that'd be amazing. It's the perfect time period to do it.
Yeah.
Like, it would work so well. And like, I think I like the ones, was it Gabe that brought this up? Yeah, I think it was Gabe. Brought up those missions where you randomly go to a different like country and like place for one mission. I like those in, what were they in? Were they 3?
Leonardo missions?
Like, yeah, the Leonardo ones, but also the ones in 3. I think it was the Peg Leg missions where you'd randomly go different places.
Oh, they were cool. 100%.
Those were cool because they were like the tombs, but they were kind of different. Like, those were a good part of Assassin's Creed 3 as well.
Yeah, actually, you're right. I did like those. I really did. They were the Assassin's Creed 3's version, because they couldn't really do, the same thing in, North America. Because, I mean, I guess kind of the Mayan Ruins one was the best throwback to it. Or even there was the Jamaican, like, weird mansion thing that's like the doctor... Yeah, it's a psych ward or whatever. But, that was cool. You're right. Those were really good. And even Da Vinci's Flying Machine and all his gadgets was cool in Brotherhood. So... yeah, those missions would be cool if you could kind of do it like, and in Egypt be like Tomb Raider missions kind of thing, I guess. Well, you could call them just tomb raids, you know, instead of assassin tombs, because that's only in 2, and then the Romulus Lairs in Brotherhood, and they were the library key missions in Revelations, and they could just be tomb raids.
Yeah, and they could be more, like a lot, and if you do all of them, you get one special reward.
An armor, yeah. You get a cool armor piece or something. That'd be very cool. Like there could be one out in the middle of the desert, and you go down like a fucking like oasis well or something, and it's just emptied out, and then there's just these side cave ones and those random tombs in the middle of nowhere to an actual pyramid in the middle of the city, or catacombs under Cairo. There's a million ways you could think of it, and what a great way to bring that back.
Oh, I think it's perfect. Like, as well, like, that encourages exploration, and if it is the Black Flag team working on it, which I'm pretty sure it is, like, they are so good at doing exploration, like they did with AC4. Like, imagine giving them ancient Egypt, and they can just do whatever they want, and just make it this huge, open, explorable, like, place. It's just so cool.
Why hasn't like I know Egypt has been on the top of everyone's list, but it's never been like number one. You know what I mean? Like there's always kind of been
I think it
one
was
or
for
two
me.
before it. Was it? I thought.
Yeah, I always used to say whenever everyone used to ask, "Oh, what location would you love?" I was always like, "Ancient Egypt." I'd love that. That was always my like go-to place to
Okay,
say.
mine was always, I don't know, it was definitely up there. But for some reason, I was never like, I didn't really think too deeply about every little gameplay aspect. But now that you know, we're all doing speculation videos on it, I'm like, holy Jesus, this is the greatest setting they could do that they haven't done already.
Mm.
In all the ways that made Assassin's Creed great. So, I mean, I'm so excited. I'm actually so excited for Assassin's Creed again. If, you know, they are doing Egypt, I'm so
Yeah,
confident they are. So,
so am I. Yeah, I want to ask actually, what was your top? Like, if anyone asked you like, where would your Assassin's Creed go?
I
What was
think
it?
for some, I think it was ancient Greece for
Oh,
some
okay.
reason. But I mean, I would like them to do ancient Egypt, you know, ancient Rome, ancient Greece, kind of as the trilogy. Could you imagine? Like those three settings would be
That'd be
unbelievable.
so perfect.
You know?
That could just if they do it right, like, and imagine doing that all right. Like the settings are perfect. If they got the exploration and gameplay down, like with Black Flag, it would be amazing. And then imagine them managing to incorporate a really good story that they could just do such a good job. I just hope they don't fuck it up.
Yeah, I'm. Look, you know, we won't know anything, and then there's the modern day that I'm so sure now they're going to at least make a third person character in the modern day because the time
Yeah.
off and they know what we like. They know what we want. They really do know what we want from modern day.
Mm,
At least we want a character, and we want a actual story that's you know continuing on. So
yeah.
the year off is just the greatest thing they could have done at this point. I'm so stoked they're taking a year off because the amount they're going to be able to do, you know, we're going to get 2 games worth of, you know, upgrades to me,
Yeah.
but without the rushing of the, you know,
Yeah.
this was a game that was supposed to come out this year, and they've got a full another year. They've been told to make it and change everything they need to change.
Oh god, it's gonna be so good. And the Black Flag team are just amazing anyway. Like I'm just going with the fact that they're making it because they're like, you know, that's what we all assume anyways. And it just that AC4 was so good. Like the gameplay and open world and its own little story was so good. Like it might not have been good. Someone commented saying like, you know, if you think about the games on their own without thinking about how they're attached to like the overall story, like AC4 is actually like a fantastic game. It's not like, you know, a great like, you know, Assassin's Creed game because it's not like a huge part of like the main Assassin's Creed story, but it's a really good story. Like all of it, like everything about AC4 is amazing.
It's a phenomenal game, absolutely.
Hmm.
You mentioned the whole going to other places, right? And I was
Yeah.
thinking, like for a mission.
Hmm.
And I think Gabe even talked about he would like to see because when it was brought up with the was it I think you're right, it was Gabe, when you sent assassins on missions to different places to be able to play those missions.
Oh yeah.
Was that what he said? Something along the lines
I
like
think he might have. Yeah.
instead you get to do that. And I was thinking in ancient times, whether it's like in an ancient Greece game, an ancient Rome game, or you know an Egypt set game, getting to go to somewhere like for one mission the ruins of Troy, or you
Mm.
know Pompeii. Well, Pompeii was
That could be
what
cool.
86 AD or something, or 76 AD. So I mean, it depends what time period it's set, whether it's after that or before that. But you know, like there's so many historical places you could go to just for cool, just because why the fuck not? You know what I mean? Like who
Mm.
cares? We can do what we
It would be
want.
amazing. That would be
So there's
fantastic. Like, imagine if they incorporated that. Like, they had separate things. So, like, you've got those Tomb Raiding things, then you've got these separate missions where you could, if they managed to incorporate the Brotherhood again, because I'd love if they did that. I always loved the Brotherhood from the Ezio games. If they somehow incorporate the Brotherhood, and
yep,
then when you do, like, if you remember from Revelations, those missions where you'd go, like, to assassinate a target with your Brotherhood, like, companion person if
yep.
they incorporated those into visiting other places, so you went to this other place to go with your, like, you know, buddy assassin, like, trainee person, and then you go to assassinate this person in a new different area that's like a separate scenario just for that one mission. That could be kind of cool.
Yeah. The Creed just said that's a bit too ambitious, I think. Yeah, maybe. Like,
But I mean, if they make it linear like they did with the Leonardo missions or like the ones they did with Assassin's Creed 3,
Yeah,
I think
that's
they
it.
could do it.
Like, you don't have
Definitely.
to do a full city or anything. Like, yeah, you're right. Like,
Just a
just a
linear
small
section, yeah.
area that looks like it's bigger than it is. Yeah.
Mm.
I mean, they made Brotherhood in a year. Like, surely, with I'm sure they haven't been developing Empire for just the last 12 months. I'm sure it's been since Black Flag, which was
Yeah,
2013,
Black Flag.
was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's 2016, and it won't come out till 17. So surely, surely. I mean
Yeah.
I'd give up those just to get things like tomb raids
Yeah.
in the game in the open world, plus a beautiful open world like you've talked about before,
Oh god.
having
Yeah.
just the Egyptian desert with small villages and oases and things like that, and
Yeah,
missions to do
ruins,
around.
yeah.
And then you've got maybe two cities like Cairo, Alexandria, and that's it. And like Havana and Kingston, they're their own section. And maybe with next gen they could put them on the map, but I'm okay with the loading thing. You know
Well,
what I mean?
the
But
leak,
actually,
the leak. If we're going by the leak said there's no loading times. They said like it's bigger than Black Flag and there's no loading times in cities. So I mean, if we're gonna believe the leak, then I guess we need to believe all of it. So
I do believe the leak, but it's also 2 years out. So I'm just saying they could be
Yeah.
planning that, and then they're like, this isn't working. It's going to run better if it's a load.
yeah, like I don't
So
mind the load too much as long as the game runs better and the game's perfect. Like why? Like there's no point in trying to not make load times. Like just go for it if you need to do that. But without them, think how good that would be. Just like this huge open space with the cities integrated into the open space. Oh.
Holy shit. I mean, you're right. I would like that open space to be integrated with it all, and it would be unbelievable. But, going by the leak, I'm sure that's what they want to do. I'm sure that's what the team is planning to do. But doesn't mean they will be able to.
Mm-hmm.
Just for the reasons of, they might do and be like, this is too much, and maybe it's making the game glitch out more, and it's just causing too many bugs, and we just want it to run super smooth, so we're just going to make it separate loads. That could happen, but hopefully, you're right. And
Yeah.
the leak, it does go to plan. I mean, that's the point of next gen, right? To be
Yeah.
able to do things they've never been able to do before. And it's not like the cities are that huge, in comparison to what they are in the 18th, 19th century.
Yeah.
So there is that. So it's not like it would be as hard to do. But you've got things like pyramids and stuff you've got to render. So that's pretty hectic.
James, think of The Witcher 3. Yeah, that's a massive open world with the cities integrated into the open world as well.
Is
So.
it? There's no load?
No, there's no load times. Only when you switch regions. So there's like several open world regions.
How big are the regions though?
Massive. Like they're
Well,
huge.
Compared to Skyrim.
Oh god, compared to Skyrim. I'd say Velen is probably. Oh, I don't know. I don't want to make a judgment, but to me it feels the same size, but I'm not sure.
Like the
I
whole
couldn't
game's
say.
the same size, or the different regions are the same size?
For me, Velen, which is one region, it feels the same size as Skyrim. But then there's also
That's
Skellige and there's Tucson, which they just added in the new DLC.
But
But it
so-
might not
so
be.
they-
It might
so
not be as
there
big. It might
are-
just be me thinking.
But
it
there
is.
are loads then, like in that you're saying.
Oh
that-
yeah, just when you switch to the region, yeah. But like there's cities within the region, so like there's one region which is one massive world, which is
Okay.
Velen. Like that could be the game. Like they didn't need
Sure.
that anymore. That could be the game, and that
Sure,
has a bunch of
okay.
cities dotted throughout, and you can kind of just enter it whenever you want. Then if you want to switch to Skellige, which is like an island, it's like a separate place that feels different. It's like all cold and rainy and snowy and shit. Then you can switch to that one. That has stuff in it. Same with Tucson as well.
Yeah. Okay. Makes sense.
Mm.
Yeah. No, that'd be awesome. I mean, I'm so excited for a lot of reasons of why Empire is a great setting to improve a lot of things, and a lot of great ways they can improve the open world, and with missions like going to other different places, or at least those tomb raids would be amazing. I'd love to, because that's just game style. I remember after Luma played Syndicate, he talked about on his walkthrough of it, one of his initial reactions was, I don't like the side missions. Why aren't there things like the Assassin Tombs back? Like, they were so iconic. Like, every single Assassin Tomb, Romulus Lair, when you play them, they're iconic themed things. Like, you've got the Duomo in Florence, and then the Doge's palace in Venice, but also... oh, excuse me. And then you've got all the other ones that are spread across the one in Forley, and each mission, whether it's the place that's iconic or it's just the what you do in the mission, like you chase this guy through a tomb, or it's that really stealth one, or it's a parkour one, like the one that with the oil fire in the start of Brotherhood, with the Romulus layer, or when you're under the Colosseum, and the one in Galata Tower
Yeah.
and Revelations where you fall down this and there's this big cavern in the middle of underneath the city. Like, there's iconic missions there, and they're so fun, and there's a variety to them.
I feel like the Assassin's Creed games for the past however long have been a really hit and miss. And there's something that Darby said that interested me, and I think I brought it up before, is when someone asked him about Syndicate, whether it's going to like continue story and stuff like that, and his response was something like, Syndicate's a bit of fun, but don't worry, I've got something, or something like that. And like, assuming he's running Empire, and like, I feel like Empire is like, because they've been developing, like they said, the decision to take a break was after Unity. So maybe Syndicate was meant, like, maybe they changed it, I don't know, or whether it was meant to be like that, but I feel like Syndicate, regardless of whatever else is there, is still just a game, because they'd already made it, they released it anyway. But the real development and change came with Empire, and that's the thing they're putting all of their change into. And I guess they just released Syndicate anyway to try and like be like, okay, look, it's not as bad as Unity was. But Empire is where they're really putting their time into, because they've been developing that like I guess since 2013 or to beginning 2014, like after Black Flag. So, I mean, I feel like if they like, with all the time they've had and all like the feedback they've managed to get from Unity and Syndicate now, I feel like it's just their time to just nail it, and I really, really hope they can.
Yeah. And I think a big thing of it was, it's like everyone's always like, why do people still complain that the Ezio trilogy is better? Or like, but it's like going to the 18th and 19th century. It wasn't that the stories are as bad. Like, you can still do. That's the point of each setting. The Assassin's Creed storylines can be different and varied depending on the setting and where the assassins are, where the Templars are in the war, and how it fits into history. That's its own thing, and that's really based on setting, and that's then goes to your preferences. In terms of what's iconic in a game, since 3, 4, Unity, Syndicate, Rogue, each game is different. Like, they're not, they're just doing their own thing.
Yeah.
They're an open world game, an Assassin's Creed game, and sure, there are similarities in the later ones, but from 1 to Revelations, they set a bar of what's iconic, and even the Altair's game to Ezio trilogy, they're the same style. They have the same iconic mission types. They're the same style gameplay. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but I just feel like in terms of Egypt, you can fit all the same iconic things into it, whereas it's kind of the fault of the setting they have is they couldn't do things like an assassin tomb.
Yeah.
They couldn't do things like have a really out in the open Brotherhood where everyone's wearing hoods and stuff like that as much as you could back in the Ezio days and Altair days, because, history's so known to us from back then, and they're trying to fit it in this well-known period of time, like, the American Revolution, the French Revolution, and you're so kind of stuck to follow certain things, and there's less playing around with history, and it's just kind of like so many things they used to do that they just can't do and they're shackled with.
Yeah.
So, I just think the Egypt time period isn't just the best in terms of how cool the period is. It's just the right direction in terms of bringing us back to what's iconic about the franchise, what makes Assassin's Creed so good. So,
Yeah.
that's what I think.
I think it's like one of them things where they can take everything that we've, like, all the feedback we've given them, and it's a perfect setting to play around with stuff. And also, it's like we've given them feedback on like customization, on like certain gameplay features that we like, and it's like they couldn't put them into games, and it's like Egypt just allows them to add everything that we kind of want into the games and be able to play around with history to make stuff fit because it's so far back. And I just think they can for some reason, like, a lot of people are still being really negative about it. Like, I see in the comments, like, when I was talking about, like, they could probably do really well with this, and people are like, no, I doubt it, it's probably not going to happen. I mean, I get why people would think that, but I feel like after being able to, like, do research and, like, see how things, I don't know, I feel like it's going to be a good one, but maybe that's just because I'm really hopeful.
I think it's a good one for a lot of reasons, and it's not. And I understand cynical. Ubisoft earned that. They earned people being cynical about their franchise, but it's because a year off, and they're not dumb. They make good games, but how can they make games of a certain quality when they don't have enough time to do it? And people always, when I say this all the time, every year, and people go, "But Tyler, they've been developing it for years." And I'm like, "Yeah, I know, but they're developing it alongside other Assassin's Creed games at the same time who haven't got feedback. They only get feedback from the most recent game a year out. When I was saying before Syndicate, people are like, yeah, but Syndicate's been being made for 3-4 years. It's not a year, Tyler. I'm like, yeah, I know, but it's only a year since Unity. They don't know before Unity comes out what we want. They don't know what to improve from Unity until Unity comes out. So the problem is they've already made most of the game by then. So even the things that they want to change, they can't. It's too late. So they already shoot themselves in the foot by doing it so far in advance. I think why Brotherhood was so good is because not only was it made in a year, but it was made straight after 2, that they literally made it based off of feedback. The whole game is built off of how do we improve from 2, whereas all the other games is built from each other with no real feedback except last minute touches and things like that. There's nothing really major story wise. There's nothing really major in terms of huge open world aspects. With this, you've got a year off. I mean, they're modern day. They do year to year, so they've got a whole extra double the amount of time they usually do to go back and wipe that whiteboard clean and start writing on it again. They've got a year to fix and change a shitload of stuff. And also, they've got the right setting to make something iconic happen. There's a lot of good things going on. By just having a year off, it changes everything they usually do. Everything they usually do is thrown out the window. They've got so much time to listen to feedback. They're doubling time in a lot of ways. Not for everything, but in a lot of things.
Yeah. It's like you can see when the games do well is because they've listened to feedback. Like AC1, I still think that's a great game. But AC2 improved so much because they had the gap like they normally do, and they just took all the feedback they got from the first game and just made this masterpiece of Assassin's Creed 2. And then with Brotherhood, they were like, okay, so this is the feedback we've got. Let's make another game because everyone loved it so much about Ezio. Let's just do it. Let's take all the feedback and make it. Then obviously Revelations, they just that was also built off of 2. But
that was also built off 2, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so, but then with things like 3 and 4, Unity, Syndicate, they're not building it off of feedback. Well, I mean, sometimes they are. It's like, but feedback of like 2-3-year-old games, and like they're kind of building off what they think people are gonna like. So they're like, okay, so we did this in this game. How can we improve that? Not even knowing if people like it or even want it in the game because they haven't had time to get feedback on it. So they're just like, okay, we'll do it again. It'll probably be good. There's not really any fan interaction or feedback from the players. Like, they just kind of build them off the games they've already made. So they're like, oh shit, this was in this game, let's include that in this one. And they don't even know if anyone likes it. They're just throwing in because it was in the last one. And they're like, okay, so we did that here. Let's try and improve. Like, because they're like, let's try and make Syndicate based off of Black Flag. Because they obviously made it back then as well. Like, it was in development after Black Flag was finished. And like, they were making Syndicate alongside Unity, right? And it's like, I just don't know what they're trying. I guess what they're trying to do is make the game separately to see which one does best, and then go, okay, let's pick this direction and go in that direction. Because I think Black Flag, Unity, Syndicate, and Rogue. I mean, Rogue was kind of similar to Black Flag because it was so popular, I guess, maybe. But Unity, Syndicate, and Black Flag are all so different from each other. And I guess they tried to make 3 separate games because they didn't have any feedback, so they couldn't develop on anything. They made 3 separate games. And I guess at this point, it's like picking direction, and Black Flag did the best, so I guess they'll go in the direction of Black Flag with this exploration, that kind of thing, but also take the feedback that possibly they got for people talking about the story and about the modern day, and I think they definitely know what we want for the modern day. So I just think at this point, now they're building off of feedback, it's a perfect time for them to do well with an Assassin's Creed game.
I agree. And I also think another big issue with the last games has been they keep trying to reinvent themselves. You have an identity. Be proud. I understand why not. They tried to reinvent themselves with 3. I get what they were trying to do. and then it didn't work out, and there was problems with it. Sure, a lot of people loved it. You know, it's not a bad game, but there was not the best direction. 4, they did what they could with what they had, and it was great. But there's still some issues with 4. Then they tried to reinvent themselves again with new technology for next gen, and then Syndicate was kind of just here's a game that's not shit to tie you over, and now I think it's like stop reinventing yourself. You know, you've been doing your franchise for fucking forever now. It's been 10 years. You have an identity. You know what works. Do what works. It doesn't mean you can't try new things. It doesn't mean you can't do new things. Of course you can. But you don't need to reinvent your franchise every game. Halo's been going for 15 years. They don't reinvent themselves in terms of their basic gameplay, you know? Even Call of Duty. But that's a terrible example because it's, you know... I'm just throwing out names at this point. But you know what I mean? Like, franchises have been going for so long. Kingdom Hearts.
Okay.
That's never reinvented itself. It's just improved on its identity.
That's what Assassin's Creed need to do.
Assassin's Creed, Ubisoft, you have an identity. Stop trying to reinvent yourself. It's fucking good the first time. Just improve on your identity. You don't need to reinvent yourself. That's my biggest thing I can say about it.
Yeah. They just need to stick to what they got. Like, I mean, after Black Flag, if they'd have left time in between the games rather than be like, okay, we need to get another game out next year, if they'd have listened to the feedback, it probably would have been a perfect time for them to, stick to what they had and make a really good game. But because it seems like they just kind of panicked and they were just like, shit, let's release everything we can. It's like they went to all these various time periods, and I think now they've taken a break. It's like, okay, we don't have to release a game this year. Now we can take our time. Like, what are we going to do? Let's try and make this what people love rather than trying to make something new. Because trying to make something new off of fan feedback is very difficult when you don't know what they're going to want in this new product you're making. But if you just make an Assassin's Creed game off of what people love, surely they'll do something well. And I really hope they don't go around making a whole new engine again, trying to reinvent the franchise again. I hope that's not something they do.
Well, I don't mind them if they're doing a new engine and things like that. I don't mind if they're not reinventing, as long as they're in a way reinventing if you're doing a new engine. But in terms of the way they build their games and structure story, the way they structure free roaming and side activities and gameplay, they're going back to what they used to do that way, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like we're still playing the same game. It's still structured in a similar way that's familiar and it makes sense and it's all cool, but you're adding new stuff, but it's a whole new engine maybe. I don't know how it's going to work entirely. I mean, the engine they've got looks great. You know what I mean? It doesn't look bad. They need to work on it.
That's all they got to do. Just keep developing off that engine and it'll go great. Like, personally, I've talked about this before. I don't really like the Unity Syndicate engine. Whenever I play on it, it feels unfinished. I don't know whether that's just because of Unity, but also when I play in Syndicate, I keep getting stuck on things when trying to free run, and it feels really clunky.
Yeah,
and
sure.
I think there's something that Patrice Desolé said, and he said about free running and about parkour games and things like that. It's not the animations that matter; it's the transition between the animations that make it look good, and that's what I think the Unity Syndicate engine doesn't do. The transition between animations don't flow as well as they should do, and that's what makes it clunky. Whereas the animations themselves look really cool. Like, the engine does look really cool, but when you try and transition between two different things, it doesn't work as well as it probably should.
Yeah. Yeah, no. You're right. And maybe they do need a new engine. But also, with having the year off, you said they can work on feedback, but they can also work on things they want to do. And what I mean by that is, because there is a deadline, and with Ubisoft it is strict, I know it seems like they have a lot of time, but they really don't. So there's a lot of things I'm sure that, because these developers want to make good games. And I'm sure there's plenty of things with Unity, Syndicate, Black Flag 3, and even the Ezio trilogy, because of these time constraints, there's things they want to do and envision doing, but they just have to cut from the game because they don't have time. So it also just gives them time to perfect their vision of the game. Let alone, so we're getting the product they at least envision straight away, let alone improving on things.
Yeah.
So I'm just excited to at least see close to a full vision of these writers like Darby and directors like Ashraf Ishmael, because those guys, the Black Flag team's fucking great. We all know this. They can make a quality game, but I wanted to talk to you about the writing. because it's something I've been thinking about, and I do want to do a video on it as well later. But I thought since I bring new topics to the podcast, it's new to old, and I know I said we sound like a broken record, and we're just salty about how good the new old games are and the new ones suck. The new ones don't suck. I think, again, like I said, they've been trying to reinvent themselves so much. They kind of have lost their way with the deadlines being so tight and things like that, and a bit complacent with how they do things. The thing I want to bring up was writing and its subtleties.
Yeah.
And how important subtleties are. And it's because I've been playing Black Flag and I've been watching some Syndicate stuff and I'm doing the AC2 walkthrough. So I'm kind of all around the franchise at the moment. And I'm noticing things that are just simple stuff, but they make the game feel a million times better. Now, the thing about Assassin's Creed 2 is we know they don't treat you like you're dumb. And I feel like Syndicate and stuff treat you like you're a fucking retard in some ways. Because I know what an assassin is. You don't need to tell me a guy with a hood is an assassin and explain it super obviously. Like, in Assassin's Creed 2, you meet all these people and you don't really know what I know what an assassin is. I bought Assassin's Creed 2. We know it's about fucking assassins. But they don't throw it in your face. Ezio doesn't know who the assassins really are until almost the end of the game. But we know we're playing Assassin's Creed. We're not confused as the player. We're invested in this character. He doesn't have to have everything obviously thrown at him. The story's put together piece by piece. We learn about things bit by bit. And we kind of have to put things together ourselves. And it's not thrown in your face, obviously, that all these people you're meeting are assassins and it gets revealed at the end. You kind of suspect that. You're all like, these are all kind of people that seem to have... Why do they have such vested interest in you? You kind of put things together. And then when it comes together, it's like, oh, that's cool. I kind of thought this. But, it's cool to see that it's all together. And it's not obviously just like, we're all assassins. It's just they all show up and you're like, wait, what's everyone doing here? And you start to put it together yourself before it tells you.
Yeah.
Then you get to Syndicate, in which there's dialogue in the first scene where they have to say each other's names so we know it's Jacob and Evie.
Oh, God. I hate it when they do that.
What the fuck are we doing? And then, literally, they get off the train in London, and there's dialogue explaining to you exactly what they're doing there. And Evie goes, oh, didn't you listen the first 20 times I say it? Just so they can explain it in every way possible.
Oh, God. It's because, I guess, this is what I've talked about with Kingdom Hearts as well, is people have been like Amir talked to me about it, and he was like, what the hell, I'm playing Kingdom Hearts 2, and it doesn't make any sense. And I'm like, well, you should have played the first one. And it's like... Things like that with Assassin's Creed. I get it with, like, Unity and Syndicate. With the new games, they're trying to introduce it to a new audience. But in the
people were new to Assassin's Creed 2. They know what they're playing. They know what game they paid for. The new audience isn't dumb either. They know they're playing Assassin's Creed. They're like, so there's some assassins, they wear hoods. That's all you need to know. You can figure it out by just playing a decent storyline.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're not fucking retarded here. Assassin's Creed 2 explained it little bits. They hinted stuff, but they made it, realistic dialogue. They made it, like, believable for this guy coming into it. A new player could play Assassin's Creed 2, and it doesn't throw it in your face, and you totally get it yourself. And if you don't understand something, you'll eventually get it later. Or play it again. And then you'll get it, and then you'll 100% get it the second time. You'll pick up extra things. And things like that are better because you can pick up things the second time. And you want to know why Syndicate can't be replayed? Is because there's nothing new to pick up the second time because it's thrown in your face like you're a fucking retard the first time.
Yeah.
There's no substance. There's no substance anymore. It's just content thrown at you. And when I realized this, like, playing them all, like, at the same time rather than, playing them one at a time, in an order, I've been jumping between them, like, playing one for leisure and playing one for the game. And I'm like, holy fuck. It's so simple. It's just so obvious. The history isn't thrown in your face like, you're in the American Revolution. This is George Washington. It's just like, I'm like, who's Rodrigo Borgia? And then I'll go look him up. And you learn yourself. Or if you want to, you can go to the database, which is like the coolest shit ever, and you felt like you were a hardcore player because you were trying to look into it yourself. It doesn't throw it in your face who he was.
Yeah, that's actually, I've never really thought about it like that. They're like, with the Ezio trilogy, it was really subtle. Like, they put you into, like, the historical time period, like Italian Renaissance, but, like, they treated it as if you were just in the time period. Like, they didn't need to make it like this kind of historical like tour through history. Like, they just put you in that time period, and maybe some people showed up, maybe they didn't, maybe there was some historical events, maybe they just mentioned it in the background, and it wasn't like, so they didn't force everything on you just to be like, hey guys, you're in this time period, let's put every single historical point like in this game as we possibly can. And they did that a lot with AC3. AC4 wasn't so bad. They did well with that. And then with like Unity and with Syndicate, like, it is actually really just, they try and enforce everything so much as if you're like a 5-year-old playing the game and you don't get what's happening. And I think they did that with the gameplay as well in Syndicate, with the whole, because like Mark Alexi Cote, his reasoning for always having like the hat and like you can't put your hood on is so that it's a visual cue for the players if crouching wasn't enough to tell you that you're in stealth mode. And that's dumb. Like, we're not idiots. Like, we know that if you're crouching, it's stealth mode, and we're now using stealth. Like, the hat hood thing was just a stupid excuse, and I don't know why that was even like a thing that ever was like ever came up.
Yeah, and I think someone talked about saying, I played Syndicate and I hate how it told you where every entry point was in an assassination mission. I'm not retarded. I'm like, right? It's the simplest stuff that makes that they hold your fucking hand and treat you like a retard. We are not stupid. We don't need you to tell us, in the first scene who these characters are. We will figure it out.
Exactly. It has to be
That's
more realistic.
Right, Jacob. You said it, Evie Fry.
Oh
God.
my
God. I wanted
cringe.
to punch
I actually
myself
can't.
in the face.
Jesus Christ.
I felt so bad. I'm sure Victoria Atkin and Paul Amos wanted to punch themselves in the face having to say that shit.
Oh, God.
You know what I mean? Like, it's so just obvious stuff it throws at you. Like, everything every step of the way. Like, there's no subtlety. There's no treatment like you're figuring it out. It's all just there as you see it. I'm not going to play it again and get like, oh, I missed that. Oh, interesting. Who's this character? I better look him up. Like, even the historical characters, it comes up with their title next to them.
Yeah.
When you meet them, it's like, don't forget this is it. The coolest part
They're
about
everywhere as well.
And the coolest part about some of the old games is you're like, sometimes the second time I'm like, holy shit, that's that guy. And that came in like in Black Flag, and 3 did it as well.
Yeah.
But the Ezio trilogy did it. And, it didn't throw it in your face like, did you miss it? Did you miss that this is Charles Dickens? No, we didn't, because you said it in the fucking game. There's a big title that says Charles Dickens. Fuck you.
Yeah. It's like, cause as well in Syndicate, like, I like the Paris stories in Unity because they felt like systemic side quests. In Syndicate, the London stories, I don't get why they did it. Like, it felt like a joke to me. Like, every side mission was a mission for a historical figure. Like, there was Charles Darwin, Charles Dickens, Queen Victoria, like Karl Marx or whatever. Like, there was loads of historical characters that all happened to bump into Jacob and Evie, and you just did missions for all of them, and it was so fucking stupid.
I just got so upset. I didn't expect to get this upset about this when I wrote it down. I just kind of been thinking about it, but I'm kind of thinking more as I talk. Yeah. So I'm just getting really angry at how obvious things are.
Yeah, it's I don't, like, they did it with AC3. And then they kind of did it. It wasn't as much with 4. 4 did the subtlety well. Unity wasn't
too bad. It was still, yeah.
Yeah.
Unity's was a bit, but Unity's just was kind of bland. It was it didn't really care about itself.
Yeah.
It didn't really care about the Assassin Templars. Like, it didn't take itself seriously.
It was like neither. It was just kind of there. Like,
they made its love story corny and obvious and threw it kind of at you. And forceful. It was very much Attack of the Clones. You know?
Oh god, I hate how in Unity, the love story between Elise and Arno is it's so forced on you. Like, it's something that you don't care about because you've never seen. Like, you don't develop the interest in it. Like, there's no kind of, oh look, like, I get it. I get why Arno cares about Elise, because they never show us it. They just skip like what is it, like 15 years into the future or whatever, and then Arno just has this little reminisce with Elise, and it's like, well, I can't reminisce about this. You never showed me it. Like, I don't care about it. You're just telling me things. Like, I don't care about the love story. That is one of the reasons why Unity's story was so bland, is because of that love story that's horrible.
I cared more about Balek and Arno's relationship because you saw it from
Yeah.
start and you saw it progress.
Yeah.
And it's an easy to understand, mentor protege. You know what I mean? That's an easy one to digest. And it's not one that takes a huge amount of screen time to get you invested in. Whereas you need more screen time than that to get you invested in a love story. You can't skip important bits or else we can't then get invested.
Yeah.
Which is what happened with Uni. Like, it's not its fault. It tried to do it with what it had, but you can't really do it with that.
Yeah.
You need more time in a game to develop that, and there wasn't enough.
Yeah. They managed to do it with Christina and Ezio in Brotherhood. They did a
How
good one
did
there.
they do that so? Well, it's because you were at all the big moments.
Yeah. So
And you're already, by then
yeah.
you're invested in Ezio, and you've seen him with multiple women, and you're like, I wonder if he'll ever settle down. And then you realize that this girl, and this is again subtlety, this girl who was in just the start of 2, that you were like, Ezio's a player, nice, and then you're like, holy shit, he was in love with her, and you see all these important moments and his heartbreak, and you feel his emotions and hers, and it's such a whirlwind of things going on, but also that I was like, this is fucking crazy, and this is what's cool about subtlety and putting things together yourself as a player, is in Assassin's Creed 2, Ezio says to Claudia, when Claudia goes about her father and brothers, were they given a proper burial? And Ezio goes, yes, they were. And you're like, were they? I don't know. Were they actually buried properly? I just saw them get hung and that's it. And then in Brotherhood, you're like, holy shit, they actually did. Ezio knew that because he did it. Like, that's cool. You put it together, events like that.
They did such a good job with that, and they also managed to do it with Ezio and Sophia. It wasn't like there wasn't as much emotion there because it was like that. Like, it wasn't as tragic as Christina, but I mean, like,
True.
the fact that it was good. It rounded everything off. Like the fact that Ezio finally found someone else after Christina, because he talks about it like in his letters to Claudia. Says like after Christina he never thought he could love anyone again, and then he found Sophia. And it's like, it just makes you happy for Ezio, because he's been through so much, because you're so connected to the character by Revelations, that when he meets Sophia and he's trying to protect her, and he's also, like, falling in love with her, it's like, they realistically did it, but it also wasn't the main point of the game. It was just on the side, but it was also so much better than Unity's.
It was just kind of like the Ezio Sophia stuff. It's nothing to brag about, but it was fine. It worked, and we were like, yep, good, and you're right. It wasn't the main part. Whereas, because this kind of not well fleshed out love story in Unity was the primary thing for it, and a revenge story in amongst it, you missed out on any development for these villains and the Templar side, and there was very little, but there was some assassin build up at the start, but that it has its own climax in the middle of the game with Belek, and that's like, cool, but that's part of the story's over now, and they don't really continue with it. Now it's the Templars get the second half of the game, but there's no fleshed out Templars. It's too busy focusing on this love story that you killed your mentor over, and it's kind of average. And I'm like, I wish, honestly, if I could make the choice, I might have helped Belek.
Yeah, I see that's the thing. I completely agreed with Belek when I was fighting him. I was like, but why
In some
am I killing
ways.
him? I agree with him. Like, I think he shouldn't have killed Mirabeau. That was a bit dumb. But I agreed with what Belek was saying. Like, the assassins did need a rebirth in Paris, because it was like they were so old fashioned, and like Arno, like he managed to track down like the Grand Master or whatever, and they're like, no, you can't go after him. You're not allowed. Give us all your stuff. No. And it was like, what? What are you doing? He could literally kill him. Like, what are you doing? Like, I don't know. It was weird. But then Arno chose Elise. Like, I mean, I guess he chose Elise because he had this huge backstory with her that we knew nothing about, so didn't care about. But that's why. But it was just, that whole part of the game was weird.
It was. It was very, I don't know. It was just, well, we're talking about Uni and Syndicate again. And we talked last time about you think Unity's better than Syndicate and the verses and the whole re-review and everything. Mm-hmm. So someone asked last week, so we're not going to do a top 5 this week. Instead, I thought maybe you could and I could re-rank all the Assassin's Creed games again.
Ooh, that's one that's gonna get some people mad. Because I've been
So,
thinking about this.
but before you do, we got 63 people watching. So, can everyone like the stream? If you haven't already, that would be amazing, please.
And share it on Twitter with the hashtag KillConnorClub.
Yes,
Just
that'd be
cause,
awesome.
you know, just,
We got a lot of fucking
just
people
go for
watching.
it.
Jesus
I know,
Christ.
it's great.
Where did that come from? Oh, you changed the title. Assassin's
Oh
Creed
yeah,
Empire
yeah,
Theory
yeah, yeah.
Speculation.
Because I realized that's what we were
That'd
talking
do
about,
it.
and I was like, well, we've talked about this for a good hour. Better change the title to it.
See, this is why I thought, since we're doing there's so much Empire speculation going on, if we talk about what we talk about in our videos and topics and stuff, that'll be a huge amount of Assassin's Creed talk and stuff, because it's been awesome seeing your speculation videos, and it's been awesome doing the truth and stuff, and seeing other people's stuff. So it's great to bring community videos then to topics in the podcast.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, so do you want me to go first? So you with the re-rankings? Because
Yeah.
I don't think I'm gonna re-rank anything. Actually, yeah, okay. I'll start. So Brotherhood's my first, and that's
Okay.
pretty much always been my first. And by just like the tiniest little bit, millimeter behind it is Assassin's Creed 2. So they're my two favorites by far.
Yeah.
But very close. But I go Brotherhood first, AC2 second, Revelations is third. And then, honestly, I might put Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag fourth.
Ooh.
And then Assassin's Creed 1 after Black Flag.
Okay.
And then I'd put... This is tough. I think I'd still put Syndicate next.
Okay.
Then Rogue, then Unity, and then 3 last. I think I'd still stick to that, because...
Okay.
Whether I can replay it or not, even though I have a lot of problems with Syndicate, I never screamed at the television while playing it. I don't despise the main character from it. And it was fun the first time I played it. So Syndicate is where it is. Rogue was 11 and a half minutes. Yeah, and then Unity had its problems, had me screaming at the television the whole time I played it. And then 3's, to me, 3... Everyone knows my issues, but I get it's not a bad game, but to me it's my worst type of game.
Okay.
But you are the one with the big re-rankings.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna switch everything around, because so I tend to do it like how I feel at the time, I guess. Like, I mean, it's kind of overall, so like, rather than thinking what it was like when I first played it, I'm kind of thinking, right, which ones do I like to replay, how do I feel about the characters, stuff like that. So I think, okay, so number 1, AC2. And then, like you said, super close behind, like, would be Brotherhood. But I always put 82 first, just because I don't know why. Just 2.
I get it.
Trust
me. Trust me, I get it. It's close.
Yeah. Then Revelations. Then I'd put AC1, because I still love replaying that game. I just I love the start of the series. It just, so much nostalgia there. And I just love that game so much, so I put 1 next. Then I think I'd go with AC4.
Yeah,
see, amazing.
I think this might be like Brotherhood and 2 with you and me. Like, to me, 4 and 1 are close. I think it's just because 4's luckily made later, has more substance to it, but it's just as good. I like Edward and Altair almost equally. I don't know. They're close though.
Yeah, I get that. So 4, then... Okay, so what are the games I have left? I have Unity, Syndicate 3, and Rogue, right?
Yes.
Okay, so next I would
Holy
put...
shit.
Jesus. Okay, so... So, 3, Unity, and Syndicate I all don't really like, so I guess I'd put Rogue next.
Okay, sure. Makes sense.
Then I would put 3... Then Unity, then Syndicate.
Holy fucking shit.
Yeah, but it's all really close. So like there's like the first half of the list, which is all ones that I like. Then you've got 4 and 1 that are really close. Then there's like Rogue that's just kind of floating around. Then it's like Unity, Syndicate, and 3. I don't like that much. They're all my 3 disliked ones, so they're all so close. I just had to kind of figure out a way to order them. And Syndicate for me, like after really like rethinking about it, like personally, like, I don't hate 3. I just don't think it's as good as the other games. It's not a good game. I really don't like Connor. The gameplay for me was fun, and I think it was structured well. I don't think there's ever a time when I'm like, oh no, this mission again, other than the one where you're on the back of the horse with Paul Revere. But other than that, I think the game, the missions were structured well. I think the modern day was rushed. I think Connor was boring. But other than that, I'd still put 3 above Unity and Syndicate, because I don't want to replay Syndicate. The thought of that makes me want to kill myself. And Unity is Unity, and so I'd feel wrong putting that above 3 because it's Unity. And I just 3 to me feels more like an Assassin's Creed game than Unity does, because it's like 3, yeah, that's an Assassin's Creed game. It fits with the other Assassin's Creed games. Unity feels so separate that I can't put that above 3.
Wow.
There we go.
I can't believe Syndicate's your least favorite.
Yeah.
I'm shocked.
For now, anyways. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, well, that's true. You will change your mind
Definitely
next week. So
yeah, just don't worry about it, guys. My list means nothing. It has absolutely no substance to it whatsoever.
Well, it has a lot of views of substance to it every time
Yeah,
we make another one. So yeah,
it's good that it changes, you know. But they get so many dislikes. People get so mad at me. They're like, "No, Black Flag is #1. How dare you think the Ezio trilogy's better?"
Assassin's Creed 1 shit. Assassin's Creed 3's the best. I'm like, well.
Oh,
okay.
people, that's another common one. Yeah, the AC4 is better than the Ezio trilogy, and the 3 is better than 1. And it's like both those things are wrong.
Yeah, it's like, well, I get that 1 is repetitive. 1 has huge amounts of flaws, but 1 was also made with what it had.
Yeah.
You know, you can't just be like, it's like saying, you know, something so obvious is Skyrim had more in it than Halo 1. I'm like, well, no shit. Like, it's not even a comparison. Like, there's different, you know, you're using different shit to it. There's more in, you know, in Elder Scrolls 5 than there is in 4. There's more in Halo 3 than there was in Halo 1. Like, it's just, every game has more in it and extra stuff. And so, in some ways that makes it better, but you work with what you had at the time, and there's expectations at a time. You know? You had the expectations of 1 with 1. You like it for what it is, and then you have a certain expectation for what you think it should be improved upon it, etc., etc.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like
yeah, that makes sense.
It's not like we're comparing 1 to 3 in terms of like they were all made today. You know,
Yeah,
I'd probably
yeah.
It's easy for us to say because we played them at the time. It's different if you're someone who's played them all later. So I get that. 1 would be very tough to play if you've, let's say, played the others first, or seen the others been played first. And you have the expectations of what they look like now, and then you go back and play 1, and you're like, well, this is shit. And I'm like, oh, fair enough. It's still got a great story in there for you, but it'd be tough to play. So
Yeah.
what can you do?
Yeah. I'd be interested to see what Elva's list would be, because she played them all together, like, now, like... So I'd be interested to see what hers is, because she said she really enjoyed 1. And
That's
a
true.
lot of people don't. They're like, oh, shit compared to 3. Maybe they're just stupid.
Well, people can have different opinions, to be fair to them.
Can
but
they? What?
yeah, they definitely can. Like, I get that people don't like 1. I saw it when I played 1 and people didn't like 1. I get it, but I
I get it as well. Yeah, I like it as well.
It's a 50-50. It's like Watch Dogs 1. I get why people don't like the first Watch Dogs. I still liked it.
No, I didn't like it.
And I think Watch Dogs 2 could be like Assassin's Creed 2, where it's more or less universally liked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I can see now that 2's probably going to be far superior, but it doesn't mean I don't like 1. You know? It has its flaws, but it met my expectations. So, I don't know. It just... 1's always been a bit of a polarizing game, where it splits people down the middle a bit.
Yeah. Someone said, I think Rogue would have been a good DLC. I mean, I personally wouldn't have paid for an 11-minute DLC, but, you know,
Is
whatever.
it free DLC?
Yeah, well, hopefully.
Free update?
Free update. Adds a new outfit for Edward, and that's it.
Oh, yeah, and this 11-minute short campaign.
Oh, yeah, that too.
New York's back. It looks more or less the same, just slightly more tropical for some reason. Was it just me or did New York look way shitter in Rogue than it did
was
in 3?
weird. Like, it looked more realistic in 3, and then in Rogue, it was
Looked like
weird.
it was made in the West Indies.
Yeah, that was strange. That was strange, and that was weird.
It looked fucking weird, and it was just shit. There was nothing to do in there. There was just a bunch of the same, just capture this base, and that's the whole free roam in the game.
Yeah.
And catch pigeons.
Oh god. I used to like assassin contracts. Then they make them like assassin interception missions. Those were so boring.
Yeah, it was a shit game though, so to be fair.
Yeah, it was. I mean, yeah. Okay, yeah. Whatever.
I mean, if you play Rogue side missions along with the story, the game becomes quite long. You're right. If you do your bases alongside, it might be like 18 minutes. But if you're really doing all the side activities, then you're talking about the collectibles as well. And I say, fuck that. I'm not doing all the 10 hours of collectibles they put in it. Because, like, this game has no content. Let's just scatter 100 of 7 different kinds of collectibles around the map. Thumbs up. Like, fuck off. Like, no.
Yeah.
It's a fucking short game. It's a good game. There's a lot of cool shit in Rogue. That story is awesome. But it's 11 minutes of awesome. It's not, 25 hours of awesome like 2 and 4. So that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I like Rogue. It's just short.
Yeah, Rogue has one of the best stories. Does it though? I think it's just good compared to Unity and Syndicate and like 3.
Well, the story's good. Like, it has good progression. It has good...
I mean, I didn't care about Shay that much. I mean, he was just kind of meh.
He was okay. Like, he wasn't a bad, but he wasn't that great either.
He's forgettable, I think.
He's definitely forgettable. I don't really remember him at all, other than, like, I agreed with decisions. Like, I got that he was struggling with the assassin. I got he wanted to kill the assassins. I did too. I'm like, what the fuck? They just murdered a bunch of civilians with earthquakes. Like...
Yeah.
I got Rogue. Like, I was like, oh, I get what we're doing here. And I agree with all their missions, but then it kind of started to become a bit generic in the middle, and then it ended. And I'm like, well, that story I already kind of knew happened anyway. Because, 3, they told us the assassins died. I didn't really need a whole game explaining why exactly.
Yeah. People are like, oh, it's a great link between the games. And it's like, yeah, but I knew what happened in the link. Like, I knew that the assassins were wiped out, and then Connor wanted to build them back up. Like, that, I knew that happened. I don't, like, that wasn't the purpose of the game. The purpose of the game wasn't to link 4 and, 3. It was to tell, I guess it was put there as a... Okay, I think we're live again. Yeah, we're live again. Yeah, fixed it, okay. For some reason, the stream key reset itself midway through the stream. So apparently, I was streaming to the wrong stream key because it randomly decided to refresh and reset itself to something else.
Well, we just went from our 60 to 70 viewers to 14.
Oh my god, I'm so sad. Hopefully, they'll come back. I'll just tweet out and be like, "We're live again. Fixed it."
Yeah, we did fix it. So everyone just dropped off. Okay, it's slowly coming back up. But
okay.
Jesus
If everyone
Christ.
go ahead, share the stream with anyone that might have disappeared. Let them know we're back again.
And for sure, like the stream if you haven't already, because let's get to 100, surely.
Oh yeah, we're super close to 100.
Not far off. So, let's check the list again. We already talked about Pokemon Go. You got ahead of me. That was down on the list.
Okay.
So I'm like, oh, fuck. I may have fucked up a little though.
Okay.
So I tweeted last Saturday, Tyler's Tales. That's what I said.
Oh yeah, I saw. Yeah.
Yeah. Nah, I might have got a bit ahead of myself because I was drunk when I tweeted that. Well, that was about 4:30 in the morning.
Okay.
So I felt bad because, not because nothing happened, but because probably something can't talk about. And now I've got these expectations there. So I do feel bad about that because, some things are personal. So, but I don't have nothing to talk about. I mean, I had some funny stories. I did go out and get drunk a lot while I was away, and go out partying and stuff. And there were some funny moments, it tends to happen. I had a mate that turned that I used to work with. He's just turned 18, so we all took him out drinking and had a big night. It was a good time. Had one of my friends lose his phone at a club, and we had to use the. Have you ever actually used the iPhone, lost iPhone, or Find My iPhone?
Oh
or
yeah,
something?
yeah.
That was funny. So this club, right, had no reception in it, and my mate's just got this new phone. He's just been overseas to Europe, gets back, and he's lost his phone overseas. Oh no, not lost his phone. He's broken his phone, which is kind of shit, and he's lost some stuff. He's lost like his wallet. He just had a bad night overall. So he got a brand new iPhone 6 from his new girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
Her dad works for a phone company or something like that. So he's got a brand new phone, and he doesn't have any identification because he lost his license and everything overseas, but he has his passport. So this night, he just has a shit night because we go to this club. We've called an Uber there. We've all been drinking for a while, and he goes to the door. They won't let him in. They're like, we don't accept passports. And because we went out the weekend before, like to the city, because this is like one of our local clubs instead of out like actually in Brisbane City. And we're like, what the fuck? Everywhere accepts passports. They're like, no, leave. So we go to cops, like, because it's like cops that hang around, and ask them. They're like, oh, it depends on the place, blah blah blah. But in the end, we get a girl, a pretty girl, to go up and talk to these guys. She asks them, and then they let us in. So that's it. If you want to get things done, hang out with pretty girls. They'll get shit done. That's what I've learned in life.
Wow.
And so they let us in, and Dave's super happy. We go inside, and night goes on, blah 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 blah. And I go to my mate, and he goes, "I've lost my phone." I'm like, "Dave, you just got the phone like yesterday." He's like, "I know." I'm like, "How did you lose it?" He just goes, "I don't know. I just have no idea." And we run around for it, and we do. There's no reception in this bar or in this club. And I'm looking around, and it says it's still there. Like it's on the street or whatever. So like it's not the exact location, but we're like it's here. So we keep running around, and I do because on Find My iPhone it has like you send the phone a message, like you can turn the phone to lost. So it'll send a message saying this phone is lost. Please call, and I sent it my phone number.
Yeah.
And hopefully it would work. And then ages went on, nothing. And then all of a sudden I catch reception, and the GPS takes me to multiple suburbs away. And I'm like, oh, fuck, someone's taken it. Oh God.
Shit.
Someone's fucking taken the phone. So I go to my mate and one of the others, because there's a big group of us. My brother Harlan was there with us. I felt bad for this because I just didn't tell him, left in the middle of the night. You know, it's like 1:30 in the morning. And I go to two of my mates, and we're like, I go, it's in Cleveland or whatever suburb we're in. I think that's where it was. I can't really remember the exact suburb. Somewhere away. So we just like go to the cabbie and go, "Cabbie, we're on a mission. We're trying to follow this phone." And he goes, "What? Some this guy's going off. Classic Aussie cab drivers. Oh, some fuck stolen it." And we're like, "Yeah, man." And he's like, "Yeah, we'll follow him." But while we were driving, or maybe it was before, I can't even remember. I was really drunk because I woke up to text messages to people I don't know. So they actually rang me. I get a phone call, and it's from my mate's phone. I'm like, "Oh shit!" So here we go, and there's girls on the other end, and they're like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I thought it was my friend's phone." I'm like, "What do you mean? How did you think it was your friend's phone? And did you not ask your friend, here's your phone?" And yeah, Harlan just said, he's like, "I text you to find out you'd left." Like, he's like, "Where are you?" I'm like, "Oh, not there." I just middle of the night left. And and I've lost my train of thought now. Thanks, Harlan. I actually read Billy's comment, which is classic Aussie cab drivers. They're all Indian. That's true, but if they're white, they're usually super aggressive and blokey. And yeah, so pretty much they rang us, and they're like, yeah, so we're at this address. So they sent me their address. So we're like, oh, sweet. So we ended up driving over there, and there's like 10 of these girls out the front, and it turns out it's just one of my mate that lost the phone. He'd tried to get cigarettes off them or borrow a cigarette from them or something. So he'd been talking to them, and then he just left his phone on the table, and one of them has picked it up, thinking it's theirs or something. So we went over, and they were really scared. Like, to be fair, the place we're at is super dodgy and known for just really, it's just the most filthy, disgusting nightclub. Like, look, when you go there, all I can say is you're just filled with regret the next day. Just so much regret. So it's one of those. So that's the type of people that go there. So when these girls are like super frightened, and they were like, oh my God, they're like, one of them is almost crying. Oh, we're so sorry. We didn't mean to take it. They thought we were going to be like, they didn't know. We could have been, a bunch of super aggressive guys. You fucking stole our phone. We went up and just started hugging them. And they're just like, oh, okay. Yeah, thank you for understanding. Like, close to tears, one of them. While in the all these girls came out the front, and there's these guys back there, but like one of them was like throwing up. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's what's happening here. And
wow.
So I thought that was what I thought would be just the end of that night. But it was one of those just weird night adventures where you just kind of end up, and we have lockout laws now in Queensland, so you can't get back into a club after 1 a.m. So that was like, we had to decide once we left, well, that's our night over. But my mate got his phone back, his brand new phone, and first thing he does, we get back in the cab, and I'm like, so what are we going to do? And he goes, I'll ring, this is his new girlfriend, by the way, like very recently started dating her. He got this new phone off her. It's 1:30 in the morning. She's asleep. He rings her and he goes to me and my other mate, you guys can just crash at hers. We'll just go over there now. I'm like, are you sure? He goes, yeah. He rings her. This is how he starts the sentence. Yeah, I fucked up. I'm like, what? What? How do you start a sentence that way? You're talking to your girlfriend, you're out at a nightclub, and you start with, I fucked up. And then I'm just in the backseat like, oh God. He's like, I lost the phone, but I found it, obviously. And I'm like, you could have just left this out. Like, you could have just totally left this out. And then he's just like, because he was telling us so confidently, yeah, man, just crash at hers, crash at my girlfriend's place, no big deal. Like, super confident. And then when he's on the phone to her, he's like, he goes real quiet. Can Tyler and my other mate, can they stay over at yours? Like, super, just like begging. All of a sudden, goes from this confidence, and we end up going over there. And I just said to my man, I'm like, dude, don't worry. I'll just catch a cab back home. It's no big deal. But we end up getting out of the cab, and the garage door opens to her house. She comes out so just furious. Like, you can imagine, you're being woken up middle of the night to this bullshit. Your boyfriend and his mates, and first thing my mate does is he comes up and goes, group hug to her.
Oh God.
Like, oh my God. It was so funny though, because I'm the only one that maybe had sanity, because I stay back and like, she looks furious. Both my mates go up and like hug her, and she's just standing there emotionless, like, I'm gonna kill these guys. I'm gonna fucking end them. And I'm sitting back losing my shit. Like, this is so But I did feel bad. She gave us a lift home. She drove us middle of the night, man.
Wow.
And I was like, that's commitment. So that's 10 points. That was fantastic. That's applause, because I got home safe because of that. Jesus. That is bullshit I had to deal with just on Friday, actually. I was just realizing, because I was supposed to go out last night again, but everyone was too hungover after that bullshit. And then I might have had style sales. And the week before was just like more of someone else's story than mine. And it's just like, it's just a bit of bullshit. You know. Yeah. But that was I thought I'll give you some drunk story. You know?
Yeah, that was a tireless challenge. That had me on the edge of my seat.
Okay.
No, I'm right at the back of it,
I'm right at the back of the seat.
safely
Just
planted on the seat.
yeah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Well, 7.5 out of 10 tile sales. That's not a bad one though.
that's
Like
that's a decent score. Yeah, I'd give it
I've
like
gotten, I've
7.5,
got,
maybe 8.
yeah, I've gotten way worse reviews from Billy. Billy's always my go-to. I need
Mm.
Billy. I'm sorry. I'll do more disgusting alcoholic things. But as I tweeted today, I tweeted a picture of this is why I had come up with tiles.
Yeah, I
This.
saw it.
I'm not alcoholic. I'm Australian.
Mm.
People just need to understand that. I'm not an alcoholic. I'm Australian. We drink. That's just what we do.
It's perfect.
You know.
Mm. Yeah, it's good.
So
Good.
that's the tiles tales. That's
Good
one.
tiles,
thing.
tales.
I'm sure I've got some more and things like that, and there'll be more. Don't you worry about that. I'll try to make up for it. I'm gonna go out and just walk the
Ruin
streets
your life.
for the rest of the night.
Get a 10 out of 10 tiles, tales.
Yeah, no, essentially, but yeah, classic. Classic.
Classic.
Now
tiles,
everyone's
tales.
just dropping ratings on me.
9 out of 10, 8 out of 10, 8.1 I would say. I had a clear plot.
It had a clear plot. I'm glad it was
Yeah.
a tale. It's certainly
Yeah.
a tale. It's just a midnight drunk adventure. Not too crazy, but we got
That's
through
good.
it. Tyler needs a shirt on. I'm not alcoholic. I'm Australian. I'll tell you what I want to talk to you about. So this is a game that has been
Okay.
supposedly having a sequel forever, and I'm not
Okay.
talking about King 3. But I feel like this is a talking point now because the first game just became backwards compatible this week on the Xbox.
Okay. Oh yeah, I know what you're saying.
Red
Okay.
Dead Redemption.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden becomes backwards compatible. Why wouldn't they do it earlier when it was available earlier and it just keeps getting taken down? I feel like it's marketing ploy.
Possibly.
They want people to be playing it now. Do you think that we could be getting an announcement of sorts for the next Red Dead game due to Red Dead Redemption becoming backwards compatible and trying to get people to remember it and play it and just be something newsworthy?
Yeah, I think so, because we've had a lot of leaks from it and people have been talking about it for ages, and I think making it backwards compatible now brings attention to it. And Rockstar, from what I've seen, they tend to do their announcements towards the end of the year, so I feel like we'd get something like September to November time. I feel like we get an announcement sometime during then. So if we get anything for Red Dead, I feel like it'll be at the end of the year. But I feel like it's surely they're kind of like, gearing up for it, making it backwards compatible, so they can announce it and it's just a huge talking point. Like, I mean, it's possible. I'd be hyped for it.
I would be hyped for it. 100%. I've been looking forward to Red Dead, like another Red Dead game since Redemption came out. Like, that's my number 2 all-time favorite game. Like that was just behind Skyrim, like one of my favorite, if not my favorite story and plot games ever. One of my favorite setting. I love the Western style games. I love Western style movies. It's something I really enjoy. It's such a well-made game for its time, as Rockstar games usually are, well ahead of their time. They're trendsetters. They're trailblazing games. They don't react. They're proactive. So whatever we're going to get is always going to be amazing. And the character is one of my favorite of all time with John Marston, and Jack was cool. Like it did things and took risks that games have never done before it. Like, you kill off your main character, and in the open world after you're playing is your son, who's just a side character for the end of the game.
Yeah.
So it's just things like that they do that's just unbelievable.
Yeah.
And doing horses like no other game's done horses, and really committing to what they're trying to make and a vision. That's what I respect about them. They have a vision, and until their vision is created, they don't release a game. There's no timetable of you have to have this game done by here. It's the vision is created, and then we will release the game.
Yeah.
That's what makes a trend-setting company like Rockstar.
Yeah. And I mean, with like next gen and everything, another Red Dead game, just imagine how beautiful it'd be and how well they could do it. Like, Rockstar always make amazing games, and another Red Dead, I really want another Red Dead game. People have been talking about it for years, but there's been a lot of talk about it this year. Like, apparently it's meant to be E3, but then they pulled it out or something. And like now it's backwards compatible. Like I do think we'll get something this year, and I hope we do, because I'd love to see that they're going to release another Red Dead game.
Yeah, for 100%. I think it's great. It's been 6 years. Came out in 2010, May 2010. It's been over 6 years. I knew it was going to be a long time before we got another one. Like, but I thought 5 years at most was kind of in my head, because I knew it would take ages, and I knew they would take their time, and it would be a masterpiece, whatever their sequel was. But I was just like, surely no more than 5 years, right? 6 years later, we don't even know. It feels like fucking Kingdom Hearts 3 all over again. Like, for fuck's sake. That's a game that's like, just announce it, for God's sakes. Like, not like Empire, which I'm okay with, you know, it's only been a year since the last Assassin's Creed, not even. So it's like, yeah, you don't need to announce it yet. But 100%, even if it's another 2 years away, just announce it, surely.
Yeah.
People are going to buy the game.
It's, what was it? It's been like 3 years since GTA 5 came out now, I think. Something like that. Almost 3 years, coming up to 3 years.
But it's a different studio. It's Rockstar San Diego, or San Francisco.
So it's completely different. So like, it literally has nothing to do with, like, at all, like... I mean, I guess it's when they release things, they don't want to release them too close together, because it's still the same, like...
It's 3 years, though, for sure.
Yeah. It was 2 years between GTA 4 and Red Dead Redemption, so...
And then they had LA the next year.
Yeah.
Mad Max the year after. Mad Max, no, fucking, what's it called? How to say Mad Max? No, what's it called? Max Payne.
That's
Jesus
the one.
Christ.
Yeah.
Something Max. I was close. I was so close.
Yeah.
Something I don't play.
Well, it would. Yeah. So I mean, surely it's got to be close to being announced. Like, I feel like we'll get an announcement at the end of this year. I feel like that's what'll happen.
Yeah, I do suspect an announcement in the next 6 months, for sure. I don't. You know, and that's the thing. I don't expect it necessarily to be at any game convention like Gamescom or the VGAs at the end of the year. Like, Rockstar can do their game announcements independently. So
it's like what they did with GTA 5. Like, they don't show much either. They just give you a trailer once every like 6 months, and then they release the game, and they barely show you anything. Like, everything I remember when GTA 5 came out, like, we knew, like, barely, like, we had a lot of information, but we'd never really seen the game in action, because they don't show gameplay demos. They just kind of show trailers and, like, snippets of gameplay, and I kind of really love that about Rockstar, because it keeps the hype building, because you don't even know what to expect, so when you get into the game, you get to experience it all for the first time yourself, and it's just so good.
Yeah, that's true. There's a lot to look forward to. From Red Dead, I think, and I mean, hopefully 2017 could be the year of Red Dead Redemption 2 or Red Dead 3, whatever Red Dead you want to call it, or just Red Dead something else, like Red Dead
just
Revolution.
A new Red Dead game. Yeah.
And Kingdom Hearts 3 as well, and Assassin's Creed Empire. Wait, holy fuck, holy shit.
Next year could be good.
Jesus Christ. Holy
That's
Jesus.
exciting.
I'll just skip this year. I'm fine. If you just put me into next year, that'd be great.
Oh god, next year is gonna be amazing if that happens.
This year's not bad, but I'm much more excited for next year.
Yeah,
I suspect surely Kingdom Hearts 3 is next year, and then hopefully Red Dead, and then Empire is more or less confirmed for next year, because it's Ubisoft. They're not delaying it any more than that. So.
Yeah. Indeed. Someone said No Man's Sky thoughts. We talked about that last podcast. Yeah.
Do we want to talk about Patreon podcasts?
We could do. Do we know what we're doing?
We haven't finalized anything, so we won't go too far into that details. But like, because we just did our first one, so people who don't know, when you donate to either James' Patreon or my Patreon to a certain level, I forget the exact number for donations, but a reward is to be on an episode of the Kill Connor Club. We just had our first one. With Victor on the last episode, which was a lot of fun. But then you got to think from there, and we've got another one that's going to be next episode, I believe, is it? And that's the Creed, his YouTube channel. You might have seen him in the chat or seen his videos recently. He's a new channel, Assassin's Creed channel. Very good channel too. For someone who's starting out, Holy fuck, it's much better than I was. Holy shit. So, yeah, shout out to him. Ethan told me about him, and he's going to be on the next podcast.
He is indeed.
So that'll be a lot of fun. But we definitely need to think, I think, of a new way to do Patreon podcasts. And I love the idea to have people on from the community. But then you got to think, because we only do it fortnightly, well, then when are we going to get other people on? Because who knows, we could, by getting people that are patrons, it gets more people to go, oh, I want to do that. So, you know, it can't just, in some ways, it can't just be a Patreon guest only kind of podcast. So like this, even though we had the Creed, we could have done it this week, but you know, we do like to do just me and James sometimes, plus we like to do guests sometimes, plus I want to do patrons sometimes. So all I think we're going to say is, for now, is we're going to think of a new way to do things, if that makes sense, for the future. I mean, we don't know yet, do we? Like exactly what that means.
We've discussed it a little bit, but like there's a couple of possibilities. Like, I guess you guys could give us your input, like what you'd like, because I guess we kind of thought, like, if we did a Patreon podcast, it could be an extra podcast. So we'll still do our, you know, fortnightly episodes of Kill Connor Club, but then we could throw in an extra bonus Patreon one whenever we kind of get like a new patron that donates the amount that is to be on an episode of the Kill Connor Club. So it could be a bonus one. But then I also feel like that's kind of unfair to the person who's like donated to be on it, and then it's just this bonus one that maybe not as many people will watch, even though it's exactly the same. Like, I don't know how to structure it or like do it so that it will be right, and we kind of have to work out how we're going to do it.
Yeah, we'll come up with a different way to do things for sure, but that's like a ways off. You know, we'll get to that later. For now, it's just going to be the way it is.
Yeah. It's a work in progress, so...
It is a work in progress, because it's a new thing. It's a new thing. And speaking of guests, do we have any even brainstorms of who we're going to get on later on?
I don't know. We really do need to come up with some... Like, I can't even think of any ideas, though. So I guess we'll have, like, people back on again that we've had on before that were a lot of fun. Like, we'll obviously have Asim on at some point, because
I do want to get Asim on
amazing.
Soon. I've missed that, man.
Fantastic. I suppose we can get George on again at some point, because that's been a while.
And same with... And Ethan can kind of come on whenever he wants.
Yeah, of course. Ethan's just whenever.
And I do want to get Esco Blades on.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Soon, but it is busy con season, so he's always away.
Yeah.
So that'll be out. But for sure, people just tweet at Esco Blades, at Andy, Ubisoft's community manager, or Assassin's Creed community manager, just to tell him that the Kill Connor Club podcast, he should go on that thing, you know. Just be like, casually, just, you know, low key, for sure, come on Kill Connor Club and chat with us and stuff. But, you know, that's in the future. And one day we'll get Darby on. That's the dream, the ultimate dream.
And Roger Craig Smith.
And Roger. When those two have become on, like, I can retire, I can die, it's okay.
You can die.
I can die now. I've talked to Roger Craig Smith and Darby.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Cool beans. Have you seen the Rogue One stuff? Star Wars Rogue One stuff?
No, I saw there was some posts about it, and I didn't know what it was, and I haven't, but, yeah. You can fill me in.
Okay, so this week they did Star Wars Celebration weekend in Europe.
Okay.
I don't know what country it's in. And they had a bunch of panels, Mark Hamill talking and stuff, and they showed a show reel of Rogue One, like a behind the scenes kind of reel with some new footage. Like, it's pretty cool and everything, but it's not really anything new or surprising. It doesn't add anything to like the story. It's just kind of just shots of things. But it was cool. It was really cool. But they also showed at the panel a new trailer with Darth Vader in it.
Oh, shit.
But it was only at the panel, and they haven't released it yet. Then it was supposed to be on ABC in America, and then they were going to release it, but then they pulled it.
Ooh, okay.
So I don't know where it is. But I have seen it because someone filmed. It was horribly filmed, and you can barely make it out. You're kind of just hearing sounds and vaguely seeing shapes. Like, it's terrible. And I wish I'd waited, because it eventually will come out. But You do see Darth Vader. I think you see Darth Vader. Like, you certainly hear him breathing. Like, at the end of the trailer, you just hear the...
Oh.
And then there's something there, but I couldn't really see what it was. So I like... Did they show the back of him, the front of it? I have no idea, but he's definitely there. And everyone was losing their shit when they saw him, so... I mean, I could barely make it out, but Darth Vader is in Rogue One, confirmed.
Oh, shit. I hope they release that.
Yeah, so I jizz my pants, even though, like, I could barely make it out and I still jizz my pants. That's how excited I am.
Darth Vader. You see Vader's reflection on the floor, Jamie said. Yeah, you see him. How does everyone know? Like, was it, like, written in an article or something, describing it?
Maybe. Or maybe Jamie saw a better version than I saw. Maybe they've released a better leaked version than I saw. I saw it, like, that when it got announced that they released it and were going to show it, I was like, fuck this, I want to see it right now. And I was just looking for it.
Oh,
I'm very excited for Rogue One. Very excited for Rogue One. I hear they're making Star Wars Episode 7. Yeah, man.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe they will. Who knows?
Who knows?
I certainly don't know. What the fuck? Who invited this guy? Who invited their dad?
Oh,
but
God.
Darth Vader confirmed. That's what I can essentially tell you from Rogue One stuff.
That's amazing.
And then Mark Hamill did a panel for an hour, and that was weird for everybody. He's hilarious. He's lost so much weight. He looks just like Luke Skywalker. Like,
really?
Yeah. He's lost so much weight. It's crazy. He looks great.
Wow.
But he was just kind of running around the stage. He's such a dad. Like, he was just telling, like, someone asked him a question, and then he'd talk about something else. Like, he just started telling a story about something not related to the question, and it's that for an hour.
Oh, God. Classic Mark Hamill.
Yeah, and yeah, apparently they've just finished episode 8 filming, or at least he has.
Ooh.
So now, another 18 months of editing and perfecting, and I'm sure reshooting will happen. They'll do some reshoots. All movies do reshoots. And probably do reshoots at like the start of next year, I'd say, when they've pretty much got like the main rough cut done and they're just doing the special effects. Mm-hmm. That's when they'll probably be like, okay, these are the shots we needed that we didn't like, let's reshoot. So I suspect reshoots next year early, and then we'll get a perfected episode 8.
So hyped to that. Oh my God, I can't imagine when we get the first trailer for episode 8. How great that's gonna be. Oh my God. It's gonna be so good.
I just came, so that's the thing.
Good.
Oh my goodness, I'm so excited.
Great. I'm excited
too. That's most of my list is done, to be honest.
Okay.
Most of it's pretty well finished. I did have a question for you.
Okay.
It's something I've been thinking about. And just in terms of YouTube and, you know, everything you've done, doing the multiple channels you've done, taking your channel where it is right now to where it is, from me taking my channel from where it was to where it is, and how you kind of grow. Because, you know, when someone's like, what is your YouTube dream? Mm-hmm. It's like, well, I'll be like, well, to have this many subscribers is the easy answer, right? Like, have a subscriber goal.
Yeah.
But then you think, you know, but YouTube changes. The more subscriber you get, what you do on YouTube changes drastically. It's not just your content quality improves just because you practice more. It's not just your ideas change, but you do different things the bigger you get. I wasn't collaborating with other YouTubers at 50 subscribers. You know what I mean? And then at someone at 100,000 subscribers might get sponsored and work and do things like that. Or you end up doing completely different things, from sponsorships to merchandise to paid content to things like that. Mm-hmm. Like, not just when I say, what is your ultimate YouTube dream, James, but what do you see yourself doing with YouTube in the future? Where would you like to take it as a business?
I never really thought about it. I guess, Jesus Christ. I guess, I don't know. I never really thought about it. Just kind of doing it, and then never really thought about it that in depth. It's kind of like, well, yeah, I mean, I'd love to, you know, be successful, that kind of stuff. But then I never really thought specifically where I guess like the Kill Connor Club, it'd be awesome to turn that into like a proper like brand rather than just having it's just the podcast. We could have a bunch of Kill Connor Club stuff and just, make it into this kind of, iconic thing, I suppose. But I'm not really sure. Like, I don't want to like super change stuff. Like, I mean, obviously things change as you kind of continue. Like, obviously my channel's going to change. But at the same time, I don't want to go like completely different. I want to kind of stay true to kind of how I started, I guess. But yeah, I don't really know specifically, but yeah, I don't know. What about you?
I think similar because I it's only recently I've really been thinking that far ahead, right?
Mhm.
Because I only ever did YouTube for fun. Like I never even considered career in YouTube
Mhm.
until maybe this year. I was like, who knows how far this could go? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
One day, I don't know, or at least the people you meet, and you make contacts, and that could lead to career paths. So I don't know if where it could go,
Mm.
but I think I've been thinking like, like you said with Kill Connor Club becoming a brand, but maybe like, or I've always thought that maybe because Lasers is a brand, Dynamite is a brand, Kill Connor Club is a brand,
Mhm.
Horsey and Fox is a brand, but if like there was a name or an umbrella that covered all of those brands.
Yeah.
So if you've heard of a company like Rooster Teeth that started from doing red versus blue, like Halo Machinima, that's a company. They have Achievement Hunter, they have Funhouse, they have all these small brands in them that are their own
Mm.
entities within that company. Their animation brand, their live action movie brand, but they make all these different contents,
Yeah.
and they have their own podcast. I'm like maybe I'd love to have my own business one day. I don't know what that means. Whether that could mean one day, it's Dynamite's an umbrella of that,
Mm.
and Kill Connor Club's an umbrella of that,
Yeah.
and something else is an umbrella of that. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm.
whereas like let's just say for example, it was Lasers was an umbrella of it, Dynamite's an umbrella of it, Kill Connor Club's the podcast for it, and it's like a network and other channels could become part of it. It's not like copying like Rooster Teeth where, you do the same shit they do,
Yeah.
but like it's our stuff, but it becomes where we're big enough where, you started Lasers Network and you said it was hard because there wasn't enough stuff to put on it and it wasn't of the quality. But that's just the more you get is the more you grow, right?
Mm.
So it's like as you grow, getting it to the size where a network is doable with people working for you or something where you could have you know channels that are actually a part of your brand and they do
Mm.
their thing that you aren't doing or I'm not doing or someone else isn't doing, you know what I mean? And our
Yeah.
podcast is a part of that brand. Like that's a cornerstone is the Kill Connor Club, and your channel's a cornerstone and my channel's another cornerstone, and then you've got other channels that want to be a part of it or something like that, plus doing other things to add to it.
Mm.
So it's not like Lasers Network where it's just other people's videos on it. It's like it's its brand, and everything's a part of it.
Yeah. That makes
Uh,
sense. That'd be a good
that's
goal.
and then yeah, exactly. And then there's some of it might be paid content. You know what I mean? There might be things
Mm.
on easy for a small channel. Like you look at somewhere a company or a YouTube channel like Kind of Funny. They're not, Rooster Teeth has their own network and website where you become a member and sponsor, and they've got movies and TV shows you can only watch if you're a sponsor
Mhm.
or a member of their company. But like someone small, like Kind of Funny, they have 100,000 or 150,000 subscribers. They have podcasts and episodes and let's plays that you only watch if you're a patron on Patreon.
Yeah.
So like that's a smaller way of doing things. So it's like maybe some stuff is patron only. So that's a more money making way because it's hard to make a business and do things full time without the money. So
Mm.
there's Patreon content only, and then there's obviously sponsors. Plus you add merchandise into there. So the bigger you get, all those become more of a lucrative element of it, more than just hopefully we get this, but we're not really making anything off it. It's just kind of because we want to and we want to share things with people. Whereas
Yeah.
later on, the bigger you get, it becomes more of a lucrative. This will actually make money. I don't know.
Yeah.
So
It's difficult to say, but it's obviously a good goal to have, to kind of think about.
yeah, I think so too. I don't know. It's
Hmm.
kind of yeah, it's hard to see how far it goes, but there's definitely a ways you can think of it, and a way you can kind of see who knows where it could go. And it's
Hmm.
definitely a lot of possibilities. It's not nothing, if you know what I mean. So
Yeah.
I'm excited for where things could go. It's not like
Yeah.
it's a rush, or it's not like it's just going to happen overnight, but
Yeah.
you know,
It'll be
it's
good.
progressive. Everything's different, and as much as I feel like it's the same, I'm like, oh, it's really pretty much the same as what I used to do. Well, I never did a podcast with another YouTuber before, you know. So
Yeah.
the more you grow, all of a sudden, there's all these other things that open up to do.
Yeah.
So I think, I mean, the ultimate goal is to make it lucrative.
Mm.
That's the ultimate goal, and for whatever that means, I got some ideas, but I'm sure I'll have different ideas and change things, or maybe not. Maybe it won't happen at all. So I don't know.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, it'll be fun. Whatever happens, it should be good. So,
Whatever happens. Yep. Um.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's my list done.
Wow. I don't even know how long this was because I mean, it's just over 2 hours. Was
Two
it?
2 hours 15 minutes
Okay, got it.
from when I started recording. On my end. So
It's not a bad one. It's a pretty decent length.
yeah, not bad, not bad. Anything else you wanted to talk about? What
Um.
videos have you got upcoming?
Oh God, I don't know. I guess. Well, I've started that new series. Called. Well, actually, there's two series that I'm starting. The
Yep.
quick lore one where I take random things in Assassin's Creed and just explain them off, give their backstory, history, stuff like that. Someone did say, "Oh, I see you're copying the truth," and I was like, I thought that when I made it, and I was like, because I was like, "Oh, this is cool," and I was like, "Wait, it's
well,
really similar to
well,
the truth," and now I'm like,
well, kind of is.
it kind of is, but it's kind of not. I explained it to myself and made myself feel better about it by saying, well, Tyler takes, theories and stuff and discusses stuff,
Sure.
whereas I just kind of explain things. Like, I did the Animus. I'm going to do, like, like the Apple, like Hidden Blades, like things like that, like little things in the series, rather than going all out, like, like the box and, like, stuff like that. I won't go, like, all in theories and discussion. I'll just kind of, like, explain off things that are in Assassin's Creed that we know about and stuff like that. So that'll continue with other stuff that people want. I've got a huge list of different things to do on that, and that'll just come out whenever. Then I've got the Assassin's Creed Empire wish list, where people leave comments, then I take their comments, and I discuss things that other people want. It might not necessarily be things that I agree with, but I'll take things that people want, and then I'll discuss like 3-4 comments in a video, and talk about what I think and how it could work. Even if I don't want it, I'll talk about how it could fit into it and how it could work and what other people think. Then we can get kind of discussion going, and that's kind of like a fun series. And then I'll continue with my discussions and stuff like that. I also kind of want to make a few skits, but I don't know what to do. And then also probably some like other free roam stuff that's just fun. And then live streams, and Horsey and Fox will hopefully continue at some point, because we haven't done anything on that for ages, and I think we've postponed, because obviously it was meant to be yesterday, Kingdom Hearts stream, but we've postponed it, and I don't know when. I think it might be Monday now, but I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Okay, I do miss the Kingdom Hearts streams.
Yeah, so do I.
Cool beans. Cool. I've got what shit would I have this week? I mean, the Assassin's Creed 2 Let's Play still going, Tuesdays, Fridays.
Yep.
I've got Free Run for Justice, Season Origins, Episode 3 is tomorrow, Monday.
Yep.
So fucking keen for that. Everyone better be excited. I'll be mad.
Justice.
That's it. So much justice. And I'm so close to finishing the final version of Episode 10, and then the whole season is finished.
Awesome.
So that's awesome. I'm so stoked because it's turned out so well. And then I've got The Truth on Wednesday, which I'm going to talk about, which we talked about briefly or quite a bit today, which is Assassin Tombs returning in Empire, and how I think that could work, and touch on all of that sort of stuff. And then I'm not sure what else, because I've finished the top 5 moments series, so I don't know. Because now that I'm back, because I'm back to work, but I was still doing all these videos while I was working. but I'm back to uni as well as of tomorrow. That all of a sudden makes life way busier. So if I'm going to do less videos, I'd rather it be the truth because that's what people will like the most. So once I finish the Freedom of Justice is already done, so that's just coming out every week until it finishes. Once the Assassin's Creed 2 Let's Play finishes, I think I'll just stick to until Freedom of Justice ends. It'll just be the truth, and I might even try to do that weekly, so every Wednesday. So that's what I'll do, a weekly video plus whatever else is there, the podcast, whatnot.
Yeah.
And then when I have time off, like uni holidays or something like that, then I can do like another walkthrough or 5 videos a week like I got to do the last month or so, which has been awesome. I love doing that, but it can't always happen.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's good.
Oh, cool. Multiplayer battle. Billy has been losing loads over this.
I know.
I don't know when it's happening.
No, I have no idea at this point. Like, I was expecting it to be a while ago, and
it was supposed to be a while ago.
Yeah.
It will it will happen.
Yeah, it definitely will. I mean, we hyped it up thinking it would be sooner than it was, and then we kind of lost track and got busy, and then
it kind of was. We kind of had a deadline to have done it because we weren't busy then, but we kind of just got lazy, and
then we got busy, and
right now it's such a busy time for all of us and stuff, and yeah, I don't know. Breaking news: Episode 8 will start where 7 left off.
What do you mean?
Exactly from the second. I don't think that's breaking news. We saw the only Episode 8 teaser trailer is the same shot from Episode 7, so I assumed it was the same.
Star Wars. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Sorry, I just lost track because we got comments in the stream and shit. But yeah, so we'll do the APC multiplayer battle definitely when certain video series from both of us are quieting down and stuff.
Yeah, it better be good as well because people have been waiting. I feel bad now if it's gonna just be mediocre.
Well, our first videos were cool and it wasn't that much hype, but then I had like a day off and I made that bullshit amazing promo that got huge hype, and then you made yours which got bigger hype, and now it's a real thing because we got super personal and hilarious in those second ones.
And then we
whereas
made
the first ones were just
one.
basic. Oh yeah, and then we made a big one. Yeah. Oh fuck.
Yeah, as if it was coming out like the next week, but no.
We thought it kind of was too, didn't we?
Yeah, I thought it was as well, but we just never did it.
It's gonna be so awesome. I'm gonna be the biggest cunt in it. Like I've already got so many plans to be the biggest arsehole that everyone's gonna hate. Oh man. Anyway.
Okay.
Those are our videos this week for sure. Like this stream if you haven't already, or subscribe to both of our YouTube channels if you're listening to on iTunes or something. Subscribe
if it goes out
to
on iTunes on the right time and I don't get a comment on this video saying, "Where's it on iTunes?"
Hey man, it
I'm
goes
like,
up.
oh god, Tyler has like 60 jobs and he's just not good at any of them.
Yeah, well I showed up on
Fuck
time for this stream,
Tyler,
so 100% fuck off. And this will be uploaded to iTunes on time when James gets to the stream on time, so to be fair.
Fair enough.
And yeah, so if you like listening to the audio versions, listen to us on iTunes or SoundCloud. Subscribe to us on each of those things. Give us a rating on iTunes. Subscribe to my YouTube channel if you're watching on James's channel, and if you haven't subscribed to James's channel, which I don't know why the fuck you haven't, obviously do that. And this is the Kill Connor Club. We'll be back in 2 weeks with another one with patron The Creed, and that'll be awesome. I'm very excited.
For that.
So
that's gonna be a fun one. Like they're not all fun; they're all fun.
Yeah, I'm glad. I had a great time. I've missed this. They always feel like a long time now.
They do. That's true.
And that was only 2 weeks. So I'll leave it to you to outro, guys.
Okay. Well, thanks for watching, lads. And
bye, guys.
That's it for the Kill Connor Club. Do the thing. Do the boop. Kill Connor Club.